Pierre is your premier hometown shop, specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at GrahamTire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activity.
Scott Darno with Lee Real Estate in Pierre is ready to help you find your dream home. There are 10 things you need to do to buy or sell your home. Number 1, call him at 605-220-2676, and he'll handle the other 9. As your resident realtor on a bike, he will make buying or selling your home feel like a walk in the park, not an Ironman triathlon. Find him on Facebook or email scott@LeeRealEstatePierre.com. Lee Real Estate and Scott are proud sponsors of Central South Dakota Youth Sports and Events broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet, or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Olson Plumbing.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit
by Slumberland Furniture in Pierre, American Bank and Trust, the Pierre Regional Airport, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Ramkota Hotel, Xander Auto Parts, Ferding Electric, Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union, Bauman Lumber, Wagner Auto, Kathy Sonnenschein Properties, and Black Hills Federal Credit Union of Pierre. Coverage of high school sports on River 92.7 is brought to you by these special in-game sponsors: Bank West, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, Central Dakota Eye Care, Envirotech, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, by Comtech, Coca-Cola Bottling, Wealth Partners, Ameriprise Financial, Family Dental of Pierre and Gettysburg, Hermanson Endodontics, Cowboy Country Stores, and Gale's Gas Service in Pierre.
Now, Pierre Governor Basketball.
Well, thank you very much. And here we go again. Pierre Governor basketball on the air as they were on last night. But the Governors ending up losing, an 18-point loss to the Harrisburg Tigers. It wasn't quite that much of a blowout. Govs played pretty well. Just had the end of the third quarter get away from them. A 66-48 loss for the Governors. Today they're back at it at home against at Riggs High Gym. We welcome you. Tonight the Governors will take on the O'Gorman Knights from Bishop O'Gorman High School in Sioux Falls. O'Gorman coming in 8-4. The Governors, off of their loss last night, are 4-7 so far. We'll take a closer look at the updated power ratings a little bit later on. Brian Oakland with the play-by-play, welcoming you once again, and we're glad to have Chuck Hansen back in studio running our show, as we're a little short-staffed back in the studio. Brian Manning still running camera for Live Ticket. Glad to have him, and glad to have Live Ticket helping us give the live images of this game, and you can watch it at drgnews.com and the River 92.7 page, also available on the DRG News smartphone app. So Pierre and O'Gorman coming up here this afternoon. It's blackout day today, so the Governors are wearing black, and they've asked O'Gorman to wear their home whites here as they come on the road to the capital city, similar to what the Governor boys had in Aberdeen on Tuesday night earlier this week. Aberdeen wore the blacks, the Governors wore their home whites on the visiting floor. This has been a close sophomore game throughout, but Brandon Valley, I should say O'Gorman, is opening it up. Now they lead by 13 with under 3 minutes to play, 48-35. And the JV game was won by the Knights as well, but by about 6 points. It was a pretty good ball game. We expect a pretty good game coming up in our varsity contest today. We'll start with a 3-minute timeout. Our Bank West pregame show opens things up with another look around the state of basketball in South Dakota. Updating things as of last night. We'll run down the scoreboard from last night also, and we'll give you a look at the updated power ratings. Of course, more coaches' comments and keys to success, part of our pregame show, starting lineups, and more as well. The Bank West pregame show in 3 minutes. Bank West for the best, and you're listening to Pierre Governor Basketball on your official voice of the Governors, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
Pierre provides complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
You asked for it. Nonstop flights between Pierre and Minneapolis. Now you can book nonstop flights from Pierre to Minneapolis and Denver on Denver Air Connection. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets with fares starting at just $119 one way. Seats are limited and restrictions apply. Business, pleasure, a game, a winter getaway. It's easy when you fly from Pierre. Visit DenverAirConnection.com/Expedia to book your trip today. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Minneapolis flights begin November 30th.
In a world that's always moving, your journey matters. And at Iverson Auto Group, we're here to get you on the road with a great selection of new and used vehicles and trailers, and keep you on the road with top-notch service, maintenance, and support. Every mile of your journey, the experienced team at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron are here to help. Visit us in Mitchell and Huron or start your search at iversonauto.com to begin your journey today.
At Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back to Riggs High Gym. Brian Oakland ready to go with play-by-play. Our sophomore game has just ended up. A double-digit win for Gorman in this one, breaking open a fairly tight game, similar to the varsity game against Harrisburg last night for the Pierre Governors. We'll see what the varsities bring today. It's the third game of the week for the Pierre Governors, the first game of the week for the O'Gorman Knights. The Governors got a win at Aberdeen Central Tuesday night. Of course, the loss at home to Harrisburg last night, playing O'Gorman today. O'Gorman has not played since last Saturday, but they do come in, even though with an 8-4 record, they come in on a 2-game slide, losing games in Sioux Falls to both top-ranked Lincoln on Friday night last week, and then they lost to Roosevelt by double digits on Saturday. So kind of a surprising result there, but we'll talk with Coach Derek Roby a little bit about that one later on as well. So that's a team that's kind of refocused. The Governors have to stay focused or get refocused in a hurry after last night's loss to the Harrisburg Tigers. For all of those on the road, we're glad to see a good contingent from Sioux Falls making the trip here today. Good road conditions, of course, helping that out, and weather conditions too. But the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds us as they celebrate being a part of a team that snow means slow. Remember to slow down and drive for the conditions this winter. It will be winter again within a few days. We've all got someplace to be. Remember to buckle up every trip, every time, too. Reminders from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. We will start with a quick look around what happened last night. The state of basketball had the Governors falling, of course, in boys basketball to Harrisburg. And meanwhile, it was Watertown beating Brookings 63-40. Brandon Valley had a tight one with Yankton, 57-51. Yankton's going to be the next opponent for the Governors, and that'll be in Yankton on Tuesday night. Meanwhile, Sturgis with a win over Mapialuta out of Class A last night, 63-46. And the marquee matchup had state champion, the reigning state champion Mitchell, giving Sioux Falls Lincoln their first loss of the season last night in Sioux Falls, 69-58. So the updated power rankings in boys basketball still have Lincoln on top with their 10-1 record. Mitchell moves up over ahead of Brandon Valley with that big win. Mitchell is 10-2. Brandon Valley's 11-1. Harrisburg 10-2 after their win last night over the Govs. Spearfish now is in the 5 spot, 8-3. Huron at the 6, 8-4 on the season. Then Sioux Falls, Washington 7-4. And these O'Gorman Knights are 8-4 right now in the number 8 spot. The only other team with a better than 500 record in AA is in the 9 spot. That's T Area, 7-5. Then it is Sioux Falls, Jefferson, and Roosevelt, both 4-8 on the year. The Governors stay at number 12 with their loss last night. They're still sitting at 4-7, still ahead of Rapid City Stevens, 6-6. Then Rapid City Central and Sturgis, both tied for 14. Douglas in the number 16 spot with Watertown, Yankton, Aberdeen, and Brookings, the 4 teams on the outside looking in. Games today for Class AA boys have, of course, the Governors here hosting the O'Gorman Knights. Also, Sturgis playing against Vermilion in Madison today. Just a meet in the middle or on the eastern part of the state sort of thing. T Area is playing Sioux Falls Lincoln. Rapid City Stevens and Central renewing acquaintances out in Rapid City. Jefferson and Sioux Falls Roosevelt are playing in the big town today as well. Upcoming action, as we mentioned, it will be Pierre at Yankton on Tuesday in their next contest. And in fact, O'Gorman will host the Rapid City Schools next weekend in their next contest as well. That's the boys' look at the state of basketball. Governor girls fall at O'Gorman, who remains unbeaten last night, 67-44. And other games in the girls' ranks had Stevens beating Central out west. It was Harrisburg losing at Omaha Millard North High School. Brookings with a 5-point win over Watertown. Sturgis falls to a very good Mapialuta team out of Class A. Mitchell beats Lincoln, and Brandon Valley beats Yankton 61-11 last night. So updating, O'Gorman is 12-0, comfortably in front in the power rankings. Brandon Valley 11-1, Sioux Falls, Washington 10-1, Stevens, Mitchell, Brookings, Spearfish, and now the Governors are in the top 8. In fact, Pierre, after their win over Aberdeen on Tuesday night, got into the top 8. They might have slipped a little bit down to the 8th spot with their 5-5 record after losing to O'Gorman last night, but no shame in that loss for sure. Aberdeen Central is the 9, Harrisburg, Jefferson, Huron, then Roosevelt, T Area, Watertown, and Sturgis are in the top 16. Only one game today, and that is in Sioux Falls, as Jefferson and Roosevelt will play at Jefferson High. State of basketball, part of our Bank West pregame show. Let's take a 3-minute timeout. We get into coaches' conversations and keys to success. When we return, we'll begin with Brianna Kusler, the Pierre Governor head coach, and our Central Dakota Eye Care keys. When we return with more Pierre Governor basketball.
Chances are being just another small-town business. It means showing up for our member owners when they need us, supporting the organizations that empower the next generation of community leaders and agriculturalists, and providing resources to help ensure the communities we live in are here for generations to come. At AgTegra Cooperative, local isn't just about where our locations are. It's about serving our farmers, our employees, and our communities in ways that nobody else will.
Hey Josie, why so glum, chum? I can't find a way to get my whole group to one spot without taking all these cars. You haven't heard of Denwall Transportation? They have luxury seating buses with air conditioning, outlets to charge your phone, and other must-haves for traveling. Whoa, no way! Yeah, you should check them out. Where can I find them? You can follow them on Facebook or denwalltransportation.com, or hey, let's give them a call at 605-532-3836. Denwall Transportation, let us do the driving.
Now's your chance for a great deal on smoking fast fiber internet from Venture Communications. Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming, and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
Allied Plumbing and Heating is your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
John Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technologies such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Protect what matters most with the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, American Family Insurance. Our personalized insurance solutions ensure you're covered, no matter what life throws your way. From home and auto to farm, commercial, and life, we tailor policies to fit your unique needs. With our dedicated team and exceptional service, you'll have peace of mind knowing you're in good hands. Contact the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC.
Best back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Back-to-back, second game of a back-to-back weekend for the Govs. Last night, Coach Harrisburg's in here, and they're third-rated in the power rankings, and you guys are right with them for about 2.5 quarters. And then all of a sudden, just something happened. The shots weren't falling, and and they started getting hot. And it's things like that can happen in ball games where suddenly it becomes a bigger mind game in addition to everything physical and things that are going on the court. It seemed like that was just the case last night, and they just kind of ran away with it at the end of the third quarter. Fourth quarter, you're just fine, but you're just trailing by double figures the whole time.
Right, yeah, and I think that the midway point of the third quarter was certainly a turning point, but there were certainly things leading up to that were a little bit concerning from an offensive rebounding standpoint. They had 8 offensive boards in the first half that resulted in 10 points. And second half, I'm not sure what the stats were, but that was enough to tell us, how we knew going into it how crucial the glass was going to be. And it's going to be moving forward. We've got to win the glass to give ourselves a chance to win games. And against all great opponents, they get those second, third chance opportunities. They're going to make you pay, and that's exactly what Harrisburg did last night. They moved the ball exceptionally well. They got 3-4 reversals before they even had attempted to look at the shot or look for a shot. So, they broke things down defensively. I thought overall we played pretty well defensively. We forced them to take more shots that we wanted, but then we didn't clear the glass when we needed to, and that's something that we've got to respond with tonight is finding 5 guys, finding bodies, 1 guy clearing it, and then we can go.
Coaches always talk about it. It doesn't matter who we're talking about. Coach, what's your key to success? We got to rebound. Every coach says it. And that was the one thing you said last night. You've done pretty good against bigger teams this year. Just didn't work out that way. What's Gorman like? They're usually a pretty tall team as well.
They don't have as many guys that are big. They've got a couple certainly, but only only one football player. Usually there's a couple big football players that you seem to find on it with Gorman, but they're pretty guard oriented, which they've always been pretty dominant on the perimeter, but more this year than they have in the past. So a couple of the Tervine twins do a lot of the work for them. And our goal is early on getting off to a good start, but not just a start in the first half, a start in the second half as well. And then just continuing that every single time we get to go out there for each quarter. We've got to be ready to go, make the adjustments that we talk about, and then go out there and implement. And but I think getting a lot of pressure early on and finding, you saw last night, we started to crawl our way back a little bit, but with some of that pressure that we apply, which we thought that was good. It was a good response, but now we're going to try and see if we can do it for 32 minutes, or at least start with it and see what we can do from a frustration standpoint. Hopefully we can get some simple scores that way.
It's an 8-4 team, but they have lost 2 in a row. Granted, one of them was to a really good Sioux Falls Lincoln team, but maybe you got to see a little bit of them last weekend, maybe in that Roosevelt game. What are teams doing? What can you do to maybe get what might be a winnable game here?
Yeah, actually, I was at the Sioux Falls Roosevelt game, and so it was nice to see kind of in person what they were doing. We, of course, watched some film on them as well, but they've got some stuff that's taken place, and we hope that we can capitalize on that. And they've got a kid out with a concussion that is typically their first guy off of the bench, so something that limits them and forces them to have to go deeper in their bench and than what they're typically used to. And they'd had a week off to think about last week and make adjustments, and so they're going to be ready to come out. And we can't think about the fact that we've played 2 games this week, and we've got to be as fresh as can be, mind over matter, and just go out and play hard. I think that's all that we're asking anymore, is just let's go out, play hard. Good things are going to happen because you go out there and give yourself a shot.
All right, Coach, go make plays. Full 32 today,
Thank
all right?
you.
That's Brianna Kuzler, the head coach of the Pierre Governors, as her coach's comments and keys to success are brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. We've heard from them, so let's hear from Derek Roby, the veteran head coach of the O'Gorman Knights, a longtime former Aberdeen Central head coach, but he's been at O'Gorman for a number of years as well. Derek Roby and our keys to success. All right, we'll continue our keys to success with Derek Roby, the veteran head coach of the O'Gorman Knights. Coach, coming in, it's been a while, I guess, since you played last Saturday, but a couple of losses last weekend, so I know you're probably chomping at the bit to get back at it here, especially losing to teams like Lincoln, but also a Roosevelt team. I'm feeling maybe you felt you probably could have had a better effort in that one, just didn't go your way.
That's probably true. We probably lost the Saturday game by what happened on Friday. We kind of felt sorry for ourselves, and we had our guys had their tail between their legs a little bit, because we got it was a shellacking. That was an understatement on Friday night. Lincoln, just outstanding basketball team. They just really took it to us, and they shot the ball really well, and it was opposite for us. We just couldn't make anything. We got any shot we wanted. We just couldn't make anything, couldn't make the play. Well, I think that kind of led into Saturday a little bit against Roosevelt, but Roosevelt's good as well. Roosevelt on paper, you look at them and think, okay, well, record-wise, they're still under 500, but you look at their schedule, and they played a lot of the really good teams right out of the gate. They're going to be right where they want to be come March, I think. And so, you know what, we have to try to keep everything in perspective, and that's what we're telling our guys. But that's hard to do with high school basketball guys. They think that, again, we're a little down right now, and we have to keep telling them that, hey, don't panic yet. It's the middle of the year, and we've got a lot of basketball game left. So
seems like outside of Lincoln or maybe Mitchell, who beat them last night a little bit, there's a lot of parity, and I keep talking to other coaches about this in Class AA, and maybe you'll see that a little bit with a peer team today that they're chomping at the bit to get back at it after kind of letting one get away from them pretty bad against Harrisburg last night.
Well, and I thought the same thing. I watched that game, and again, Pierre was right there most of the game, and Harrisburg just made a little run. But that's you hit the nail right on the head. I think that's all the teams right now. You look at Yankton and Brandon Valley. I mean, Brandon Valley's an outstanding basketball team. And Yankton, on paper, you think, okay, well, Yankton's having a down year. Well, they didn't have a down night. They could have beat Brandon Valley. So anybody can beat anybody else. I really believe that. I think on paper, you really have to say, well, Sioux Falls, Lincoln, and Mitchell, they're kind of penciled in as the teams everybody's gunning for. But everybody else, I mean, you look at tournament time, who you're going to be matched up with? Who do you want to play? Is it going to be at home and away? And I'm looking at the list thinking, I don't know if I want to play any one of those teams.
Doesn't really matter. You just got to start playing better because now we're all in the second half of the season. Huh?
Exactly, and that's what you're trying to do is try to get some momentum for that March or the end of February roll around, and hopefully you're lucky enough to play at home. It's interesting. I don't know. I think since the Dakota the playoff system, the 16 tournament seed, I don't know if there's ever been a team on the road that has won. Yeah. In both years, or is it going on 2 years now, 3 years?
It's more than that, even so, 4 or 5, I think.
Has it been that long? Yeah. So they're all running
goes
together.
Quick.
But I was looking at it last year, and I'm thinking, I don't know if there's ever been a road team that's won. So right now, you're trying to get in the top 8. That's what you're trying to do, get home court. But of course, it'd be our luck. We'll get home court. We'll be the first team to lose that one. But
well, you're number 8 right now. But as in this game today, what gives you concern about Pierre? What are your keys to success?
Well, I don't think there's any big secret. Pierre's going to, the games that they've won, they pretty much played the 2-3 zone. And here's what the message our guys have to hear time and time again is we can't just settle for the first 25-footer we get within a zone or within anything. Sometimes our guys have tendency to do that. And they think, hey, my next one's going in, and we're like 3 of 30, So we have to do a better job of shot selection and being patient within that zone. And like I said, we can't just shoot the first, 25-footer within the opening seconds of a shot clock. That's just not good basketball. So that's the message.
Hey, Coach, appreciate your time as always. Good luck today.
Thank you much.
That's Derek Roby, the head coach of the O'Gorman Knights. And obviously the Knights, kind of like Harrisburg, a 3-point-oriented team. But it all depends on their success, depends on how well they're hitting from outside and then how well they can get some things done inside. Of course, if O'Gorman can rebound the way Harrisburg did last night, that'll help their keys to success as well. Keys to Success brought to you by Central Dakota Eye Care in Pierre. Let's give you the EnviroTech starters. We got about a minute and a half before the pregame countdown finishes up here at Riggs High. Let's meet the O'Gorman Knights as they'll start at one guard, Mason Clark. He is a 6-foot junior, along with Caleb Terveen, a 6'2" senior, and they are big in the front court, 6'4", 6'5". One forward is 6'4" senior Jackson Bjorkman. Nyoon Doot is a 6'4" senior forward as well, and John Lent is the man in the middle, 6'5", and a senior. For O'Gorman, it's Mason Clark and Caleb Terveen, Nyoon Doot, Jackson Bjorkman, and John Lent, the starting 5. Names like Austin Terveen and Camden Cece will be a couple of guards off the bench. Perhaps Jackson Wheeldryer, a 6'2" forward as well. I believe one person is out, and that could be Tayton Mooney, a junior guard who would be a key bench player for O'Gorman. The Knights are 8-4, the number 8 team in the power rankings this weekend, as their head coach Derek Roby is assisted by his son Alex Roby, as well as Sam Jacobson, Pat Craning, and Lisa Craning. The EnviroTech starting lineups for the O'Gorman Knights. For the Governors, they'll stick to what they've been doing all season long. Luke Olson running the point, scored 21 last night. Going to need a big one today as well, the 5'11" senior, along with Dawson Getz, the shooting guard, 6'3", and a senior. Sawyer Sonnenschein, the 5'8" senior, will start in the backcourt. Eladio Simmental, the 6'1" senior, small forward, and Corday Austin, the 6'3" junior, in the front court as well, with Sonnenschein, Getz, and Olson, as well as Simmental and Austin. The starting 5 of the Governors: Caden Ahart, Lincoln Dilgis, a couple of guards and forwards off the bench, Carter Shufflebine and Sutton Sonnenschein off the bench as well. A few guards there for Brianna Kusler and the head coach, along with Skip Kurf, Brevin Kaiser, and Craig Ullman, the starting lineups from EnviroTech in Pierre. Let's pause for 2 minutes. We'll hear from EnviroTech. We'll give you the game officials when we come back in 2 minutes. This is Governor Basketball.
Competition to the Pierre Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy, your local agronomy experts. Black Sheep Agronomy wants you to have a successful farm plan, and they're focused on products and practices that work in this region. As community members themselves, Tyler, Tice, and Austin support area students who work hard in their school and extracurricular activities. Good luck, Governors from Black Sheep Agronomy. Call 842-6104 for all your agronomy needs.
Stay in a beautiful Black Hills vacation home, the Summit on Dancing Sky near Leeds, South Dakota, in the popular Powder House Pass development. It's a modern rustic design with over 5,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms, and 5 baths for you to enjoy. You'll get gorgeous views of the Terry Peak Mountain Range. There's a community pool to enjoy, and you're close to all the attractions like Deadwood, Sturgis, Spearfish, and a whole lot more. The Summit on Dancing Sky. Visit them at dancingsky.com.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
Getting ready to head out to the game or getting back afterwards? DJ Senix is a must before or after your travels. DJ Senix has a great selection of hot and cold snacks. They're second to none for your choice of hot or cold beverages too. And when you're heading out, be sure to fuel up with quality from the pumps at DJ's with 3 different grades. Back late? No problem. DJ's features pay at the pump convenience 24 hours a day. DJ Senix, 507 West Sioux and Pierre. Your choice for quality service and selection.
At Dakota
Welcome back to the
Behavioral...
Oahe Federal Credit Union Press Box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Back at Rick's High, hearing from the South Dakota Attorney General's office, it's time for our Law on the Court. Our game officials, sponsored by the Attorney General's office and their Division of Consumer Protection, as we thank guys who do a thankless job in officiating high school sports. Veteran crew today, Lee Johnson, Jim Jocko Johnston, and Joe Schrader are here to officiate. They're the guys in stripes. Thanks, guys, for being our Law on the Court. Lee Johnson, Jim Jocko Johnston, and Joe Schroeder, the game officials. Comtech opening tip is next. You're listening to Pierre Governor Basketball.
Comtech has your technology solutions. Check out their showroom located right off the truck route on Irwin Street. Come in and see what you've been missing. A large selection of TVs, sound systems, and smart speakers, PCs, desktops, and tablets, home and business security and telecommunication systems. Comtech is your all-in-one solution for any technology needs. Wishing all athletes the best of luck in today's competition. Comtech. Come see what you've been missing.
And our Comtech opening tip is controlled by the O'Gorman Knights, and they work it inside, but then they push it outside. A feed from Jackson Bjorkman out to Caleb Terveen on the left wing, and the first perimeter shot for the O'Gorman Knights is good, and they'll take a 3-0 lead. Opening tip brought to you by Comtech on the lower truck bypass in Pierre. Here's Luke Olson working on the left wing for the Governors in front of the O'Gorman bench. Once again, you'll notice the Govs are wearing black. They're just blacking out as the theme today. A little jump hook, no good for Luke Olson, but kept alive by Sawyer Sonnenschein. And then he feeds Corday Austin, who puts one up and in. The Governors will score on their first possession, but they trail 3-2. Nice feed by Dute inside to Bjorkman. High receive. He'll put it up and in. O'Gorman moving the ball pretty well on that second possession. They're 2 for 2, and they lead 5-2. First minute plus gone by here. Governors in black are moving left to right as you watch this one at drgnews.com. Here's the first first shot of the day for Dawson Getz, fed by Luke Olson, and Getz will rein in 3 from the top of the key. We are tied at 5-5. So the Knights in home whites, and they're visiting floor, and they'll break the Governor pressure. And an assist up ahead to John Lent, who will get the finish, fed by Mason Clark, and that was an easy 2 coming back for the Knights. Mid-afternoon basketball here at Riggs High Gym. Dawson gets right side, has to pick it up. He'll give it off to Sawyer Sonnenschein. Now Luke Olson working against Clark, runs into a double team. He dishes it back out. Simmental gets a man in the air, fires from the right elbow, but it's off the mark, no good. And that one, I think he ended up being a little more wide open than he expected. Here's Dute to Bjorkman again, and those two working well in penetration. As Noon Dute has fed Jackson Bjorkman twice, and the Knights are now 4 for 4, and they lead 9-5. An opening three-pointer, but they've got 3 points, 3 buckets in the paint since. And now, down to the left corner, Sonnenschein with it. Governors surrendering 4 straight and trailing 9-5. Gets with the screen. He gets the feed back, and his second 3-ball of the day is up and good. Dawson 2 for 2 from the outside. And it's 9-8. Governors have it back. Crowd trying to help the Governor defense to get back. We've got a foul here. It'll be a push on a reverse coming from Caleb Terveen. Left to right, the first whistle of the day. There's a push on Corday Austin. He'll collect his first personal foul, and Caden Ahart's 6'2 sophomore guard will check in momentarily. Terveen to shoot a pair. The first one is up, and it is in. 10-8 O'Gorman. Ahart's is joined by Lincoln Dilgis. It'll be Eladio Simmental and Corday Austin checking out for the Governors. Beautiful day outside. Some people are wearing shorts here in the gym today. Temps in the mid-50s. That's all going to change tomorrow night, and hopefully for the Governors' next road trip down to Yankton on Tuesday, we'll have good road conditions and not as much snow as we fear there could be. Terveen went 2 for 2. The Knights lead 11-8. We play on here. Here's Sonnenschein firing his first of the day. That's off the front of the rim, but Dilgis is in for an offensive rebound. The Governors keep it alive. Olson swings it back, right side. Ahart's inside, give and go from Dilgis. That one rims in and out from Ahart's, unable to get it to go. And now Dute will drive. He'll penetrate, but Luke Olson sees the kickback coming, and he will take it away. First turnover of the game is a Luke Olson steal, taking it away from the Knights, who still lead 11-8. Governors trying to stay in and keeping pace with them. Here's Dilgis off the left block, up high. He'll fade back to the free throw line. Fire from there, but it comes up short. The Governors can't save it. And once again, the Governors had a shot attempt that, as Simmental did earlier, here Dilgis, kind of the same thing. I think he was just surprised at how wide open he was. And whereas Simmental was a little too aggressive on the shot, Dilgis here was a little too tentative on it. Cubs in a 2-2-1 full court press. Ahart's hounding Mason Clark, but he gets through 2 defenders. Feeds. Now Olson will come and take another one away. Breakaway is good. He beat Mason Clark, and Luke Olson has his first basket of the day. 11-10. The Governors are back within 1. Good ball game, and we're just halfway through quarter number 1. Here comes Terveen underneath, kicks it back out, and a save for Austin Terveen as he's the first substitution in. He feeds Bjorkman underneath. Bjorkman had to turn around, but he can't put it up and in. Ahart's rebounds. The Govs look for their first lead of the day, but a 3 from the wing on the left side by Dawson Getz is no good, and Dilgis knocks the rebound away out of bounds. So Getz misses for the first time. In fact, that miss by Jackson Bjorkman for the Knights was their first miss of the day of any kind. They were 4 for 4 on the floor, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. But they have turned it over on their last 2 possessions otherwise. Dute for 3. That won't go. And Getz will block out and pull one down. He'll push it across up ahead to Ahart's. Now Sonnenschein to Luke Olson. Hesitates, drives, and a contested shot won't go. Luke looking for a foul. He won't get it. Bjorkman has the rebound. Still 11-10, and suddenly scoring has slowed for the last minute to minute and a half. Here's Austin Terveen back to Mason Clark. Caleb Terveen, left side, firing three. He hit one earlier. Won't get this one, but Dute has the rebound. He makes the move around Getz, and he will score the two. Second chance basket for Noon Dute, his first of the day, and it's 13-10. 2:40 to go, first quarter. Governors on the move. Sawyer Sonnenschein will get it back from Lincoln Dilgis, and now Dawson Getz. Tries a good first step around Dute. Turnaround shot will result in a foul, and it's Jackson Bjorkman who has the helping effort. He might have thought he had all ball, but he'll collect the first foul for him and for the Knights as well. And Dawson gets to shoot two at the free throw line. First one is up and good. Brian Oakland with the play-by-play. Chuck Hansen in studio. It's Brian Menning on camera for live ticket. Remember to watch this one at drgnews.com or on your DRG News app, the River 92.7 page for each. John Lent, post player back in. Camden Cece, his 6'1 junior, is in for the first time for the Knights as well. Hits 2 for 2, and he'll check out with 2:28 left in the first. Carter Shufflebine on for the first time here for the Govs. 13-12. O'Gorman has led throughout. 2-2-1 pressure broken. Govs get back on defense. Fumble of a pass by Austin Terveen, but it's picked up by Logan Mebius, a 5'10 junior who just checked in. Here's Austin Terveen for three, and that won't go. Lent battling with Aharts and a push that's going to go on Aharts. And O'Gorman will get a throw in from underneath. First personal for Caden Aharts. Off the right side of the key, Mebius is looking for Lent. He's not there. He'll find Dute on the right side. He spins around two Governor defenders, but from point-blank range, can't get it to go. He hit it off the back of the rim. Dill just boards for Pierre. Pierre looking for their first lead, and a Luke Olson drive results in a foul. Jocko Johnson making the call here. We'll see if he awards free throws. I don't think he will. That's on the floor. And Mebius with his first personal. Olson to inbound off the right side of the key. Finds Sonnenschein. Now Aharts, top of the key. Three ball, no good. Dill just tips, but Mebius will get the long rebound. Still 13-12. Still the Governors have not led in this first quarter. 1:40 to go. Terveen on the drive. He gets it out to Mebius. Now back to Austin Terveen. On the right wing. Lent in the corner into Dute, and the shot is up and good, and a foul is called, and a chance for a three-point play. Good ball movement again for the Knights. Dute with his second field goal. Check the foul. That is on Sonnenschein, his first. And Dute's free throw for the three-point play, no good. Rebound down to Carter Shufflebine, and the Governors will head back left to right, again trailing by 3, 15-12. I think that's been the biggest lead. Actually, O'Gorman scored 4 in a row to go up 9-2 at one point. 9-5, rather. That's been the biggest lead. And Dute almost with a steal, but Aharts does a nice job coming to the slow pass to get the basketball. 10 on the shot clock for the Governors. Now Olson time. Ole crosses over against Mebius, wants to drive, and Mebius reaches in and knocks it away. Olson's hoping this is on the shot. He was going up for the shot, but it is going to be ruled by Lee Johnson as a foul on the floor. So Mebius off the bench is going to pick up his second personal. Team foul number 3 in the quarter for the Knights. We've got an even minute to go. Mason Clark checking back in as Noon Dute is out for the first time. Dawson Getz is in for the Governors. He feeds inside up to Lincoln Dilgis, who muscles one up and in on the bunny. And Dilgis is fouled. He has a chance to finish a three-point play of his own. And Mason Clark guilty of the foul here. 15-14. Dilgis to the free throw line, short, and that one tipped, but it's controlled by Carter Shufflebine. That was a fortunate bounce there. Here's Getz again for 3, and the Governors take their first lead of the afternoon. Dawson Getz 3 for 4 from long range. It's Pierce 17, the Knights 15 with 39 seconds to go, quarter number 1. In the final minutes, and we have a foul that'll be called on the floor. May have been Aharts. It is Caden's second personal as the O'Gorman ball handler tried to split defenders. Fresh shot clock, so it'll pretty much match up with the game clock. 35 seconds to go on both. Fraction of a second in addition to 35 seconds left on the game clock. Camden Cece to Austin Tervini. Drives, but he loses it. Somebody got a hand on it. That might have been Dilges. A third steal for the Governors in this first quarter with a 17-15 lead. Pierre can play for the last shot. As Olsen will back it out here at half court, near the scorer's table. 10 seconds to go. We'll see how the Govs can finish this one off. Olsen drives. Floater is off the glass and good. Still 4 seconds left. Here with a 4-point lead. Cece for three. Top of the key is off the glass, but in and out, no good. And a good finish to the first stanza for the hometown Pierre Governors on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. They will take the 19-15 lead to quarter number 2. Scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. And we're back in 60 seconds. This is Governor Basketball.
We offer comprehensive mental health services, including medication management. With offices in Pierre and Winter, we provide in-person and telehealth appointments to fit your schedule. Whether you're managing anxiety, depression, stress, or other concerns, our compassionate team is here to help. We are currently accepting new clients, so take the first step toward better mental health today. Call Dakota Behavioral Health at 605-702-6769 or visit dakotabh.com to schedule your appointment.
Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid, up to 100 times stronger than morphine. Even a tiny amount can be deadly. It's often mixed with other drugs without your knowledge, increasing your risk of overdose. Protect yourself and your loved ones and avoid unknown substances. Stay informed, stay safe, and remember, one pill can kill. For more information on fentanyl prevention, visit your local health resource or speak to a healthcare professional today. This message was brought to you by the Great Plains Tribal Opioid Response, so that the people may live.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union.
Back at ringside, one quarter in the books. There's other basketball on DRG Media Group. Stanley County playing at the Sioux Falls Pentagon against Unity Christian out of Northwest Iowa. They're at halftime, but Unity Christian leads by 9 at 27-18. That's on KGFX. Here the Governors come from behind and take a 19-15 lead at the end of the first period. They have the first possession as well as Dawson Getz drives, but he is blocked by Noon Dude, kept alive by Lincoln Dilges, and now a three up top. Looking for that is Sutton Sonnenschein. That won't go, and the Knights will control the rebound. This time, so Gorman comes back right to left. Dude almost traveled with it, got the pass away to the right corner, no good. Bjorkman, a long arm to keep alive over the top of Dawson Getz, and then the last to touch is Sutton Sonnenschein. And a couple of unfortunate bounces there for the Governors, but still leading 19-15. Ryan Oakland, glad to have you with us here. Saturday afternoon hoops, the second game of a back-to-back Friday, Saturday home effort here. Bjorkman feeds this time underneath to John Lent. Little pump fake. Shot is up and good from Bunny Range on the left side. The Knights are back within 2. The last several points of that first quarter scored by the Govs. Here's Sonnenschein driving, but he kicks it back. Now to Carter Shufflebein. Gets back inside. Here's Luke Olson off the right block. He'll leave it again with Shufflebein. Wants three right side. No good. Bjorkman has the rebound. Governors are struggling outside of Dawson Getz from outside the arc so far here today. Getz is 3 for 4. 4 other guys 0 for 1 so far, but the Knights come back and they'll turn it over. Pushing a pass up, but out of bounds in that near left corner. 6:35 to go, second period. Governors playing well so far, but it is going to take a full 32 of this type of play to come away with a win. Sonnenschein wants another one, but will not get it. Lent rebounds. Transition for the Knights, and they push it ahead to Dude, who will score, and we're tied as O'Gorman scores the first 4 of the second period. Left to right again, Olsen to Sutton Sonnenschein. Nope, that's Shufflebein. Here's Getz up top. Now Olsen. This is Sutton Sonnenschein in the left wing. He'll find Shufflebein. He's got an open lane, and Bjorkman reaches out, grabs his arm, and that saved an easy layup. Jackson Bjorkman will pick up his second personal foul. Bjorkman Seemed like he had his feet in the mud, wasn't able to shuffle it over and make maybe a better defensive play, but forcing Shuffleby to the free throw line, but his first of two is up no good. Here comes Eladio Simmental in. Luke Olson, nope, that's Sutton Sonnenschein, 25 instead of 23 coming out. And Bjorkman out with 2 fouls here in the first half. Austin Terveen back in for the Knights. Shuffleby gets the second one to go. 1 out of 2, and the Governors reclaim the lead at 20-19. Mason Clark will run the point here. Push pass up ahead. Simmental challenges it, and the last to touch is Austin Terveen. Simmental diving into the Governor bench. A good hustle play, and he'll induce a turnover. Out of bounds it goes by the Knights, their 5th turnover. 5:40 to go here in the first half. Olsen will set it up. Bouncer to Getz to start things up. Now Olsen, he'll drive. Dipsy-do, left side scoop. It's up and good. Up and under Big John Lent, who will not commit the foul. It is Mason Clark. I was thinking Lent may have gotten him. Or no, that's what they put up there, 20 instead of 10. I was looking at the finger signal from Lee Johnson. What a play by Luke Olsen. Just doing what he does. And another short free throw. And we will have a jump ball on the floor here. It should be O'Gorman basketball. The Governors had the first possession of the second period. But Luke Olsen continuing to lead the way here by making plays like that. Started right side. He dribbled through the lane, the left-handed reverse. And for a right-handed dominant player to do a left-handed double dip, dipsy-do, whatever you want to call it, on a reverse play like that, just an even more impressive play. Here's Austin Terveen. Shot up, no good on the drive. Dill just rebounds. The Govs will look for more. Simmental from the right elbow. Line drive a little bit short. And the rebound down here to Terveen and the Knights. Back up the floor they come. Dute underneath the basket. Kicks it out. Olsen cuts in front of the passing, into the passing lane, and will knock it away out of bounds. 2-for-2 swap. Caleb Terveen and Noon Dute are out. We'll see Logan Mebius back in with 2 fouls. He'll inbound. Jackson Wheeldryer, 6'2 junior, checks in for the first time for O'Gorman. Govs are in that 2-3 zone that Derek Roby was quite wary of. Up top, Camden Cece. He's back in there, and he'll drive against Lincoln Dilgis. Dilgis tried to be straight up, but he did reach out, and he'll be called for the foul here. Cece will go to the free throw line. Dilgis picking up his first personal. 22-19. Governors lead with 4:50 to go in the first half. Cece to shoot a pair. First one is good. I want to mention Governor Basketball and Governor Sports, brought to you in part by Peer Sports Marketing Partners, including All Around Graphics, American Bank and Trust, and Anderson Rumsa Dental, Capital City Campus, Olinger Law Firm, Iceberg Funeral Home, Guadalajara Mexican Restaurant, and us, James River Broadcasting and DRG Media Group, the official voice of the Peer Governors. Cece gets the second one as well. It's 22-21, Peer by 1. As we continue through quarter number 2, Sawyer Sonnenschein setting things up on the top of the key. A bouncer to Olsen in traffic. To Getz, back to Olsen. Tries to drive against Cece. Stops in the middle of the lane. Needs help and finds Sonnenschein top of the key. Olsen will come back and set it up again. This time underneath to Dilgis. Didn't square up. Tries to put one off the glass. No good. At least he did use the glass. But the rebound is down to the Knights, and they're looking underneath. Terveen in traffic, can't get one to go. Rebound is off of a Governor knee and then picked up by Jackson Wheeldryer. Knights have it still as we hit the halfway mark of quarter number 2. O'Gorman trying to retake the lead for the first time in the second period of play. Terveen to Lent. High post, right side. Drives, and then his pocket is picked by Dawson Getz. Picked up by the Governors. Here's Sonnenschein up ahead. He's tripped up by Cece. And Sawyer, who already had a gash on his chin from earlier in the week. I think he might have landed on his chin once he hit the floor, but the foul goes to Cece. That's 3 as a team for O'Gorman here in the second quarter. Olsen to inbound. He finds Sonnenschein. Now to Getz up top. Back to Sawyer. He'll pop from the top of the key. Feet around the arc. That's a 2. It's no good. But Simmental with an offensive rebound. The Governors still have it. Here with another opportunity. Olsen drives down to the baseline left side. Gets it back up top. Sonnenschein to Getz. Dawson on the move. Backs in. He'll find Dilgis off the left baseline. Just not getting the rhythm. A little bit short from 8 feet out. And the Knights control the rebound. These Governor bench players, they want to score just as much as anybody. They're capable of scoring, but they have not been shooting the ball with very good regularity here today so far. At the 3-minute mark, a 3-ball for Austin Terveen is good. His first of the day, only the second for the Knights, but they take the lead back now, 24-22. Olsen up top to Dawson Getz. Cece going with quick hands. Olsen inside looking for Dilgis, but John Lent gets a hand in there, and he'll tip and take it away. That's the first turnover of the day for the Pierre Governors. But here come the Knights. Terveen high off the glass. Too much on that one. On the left side, he's taken himself out of the play. The Govs with the numbers, but there's another tip. That one by Wheel Dryer. Now Terveen is all by himself, but he misses the reverse. Getz got back in defense, forcing Austin Terveen to think about it, and he couldn't put it home. 2:10 to go. First half, still 24-22 OG. Knights defending. Governors with it. Simmental. Sonnenschein down to Getz, and now he loses it, and that's a takeaway for Terveen. 3 turnovers in a row for the Governors. Here's Terveen to score. Simmental tried to block, and Austin Terveen gets the basket, and Eladio Simmental whistled for the foul and a chance at a 3-point play. Suddenly, it's the hands of the Knights. It's not necessarily that they're stepping in front of Governor passes. They've just had quick hands to take dribbles and even held balls away from the Pierre Governors. 26-22. Terveen will look for one here, and that is good. He has 6 all here in the second quarter. Getz checks out. Carter Shufflebind is in. Caden Ahart's checked in after the foul, and Corday Austin is back in to join Luke Olsen and Sawyer Sonnenschein on the floor for Pierre. Here's Shufflebind to Sonnenschein. He'll weave it back to Ahart's. Corday Austin, fresh legs here, looking for an opening, but Lent is in his face. Now Sonnenschein has it back, and Cece will run into him. Top of the key with 15 on the shot clock. That'll refresh it to a 35. And Cece picks up his second. That'll put Pierre in the bonus for the last 1:34 of the second period. And right now, they might be able to use some free throws. I want to say they could use some because they've fallen behind by 5. They led by 4 coming into this second period, so a 9-point advantage, a 9-point turnaround in favor of O'Gorman in our second stanza. Olsen on the move. He'll leave it with Sonnenschein. He'll fire a 3 and swish it. Sawyer Sonnenschein from distance on the left side. That makes it a 2-point game. O'Gorman quickly back up the floor. The Governors get back on defense. Terveen has it. Top of the key, Mason Clark quickly over to Wheel Dryer for 3 in the corner. No good. Govs can't save it. Sonnenschein caught by the big boys down on the end of the floor. I don't know if he really had to, but I was thinking it might have been O'Gorman the last to touch otherwise, but Sonnenschein tried to save it and then bounced it out of bounds. Dawson Getz checks back in. Noon Dutz is back on for the Knights as well. 1:02 to play. Off of the inbound, Terveen wants 3. He airballs it. It is saved, but it's into the hands of Shufflebind. And Terveen will hear about it from the student body black for the Governors. Austin underneath had an altered shot. Can't get it to go. And Dute has it. He'll bring it across the timeline right to left. Still 27-25. Knights lead it. Terveen has it again right side. Dute inside the lane, and he can't get it to go, but he was fouled. And free throws coming for Noon Dute. This will be Luke Olsen apparently with his first personal foul. Here with 3 fouls in the second period. 35 seconds to go. Dute to shoot 2. First one will not go. Wheel Dryer checking out. Caleb Terveen back on. So Caleb and Austin, the Terveen twins, both in for the Knights. And again, shot clock and game clock are going to be pretty much even. Duke will get the second free throw, his 7th point here in the first half. Knights lead by 3, 28-25. As the Govs will walk it across the timeline and maybe set up for a last-second shot opportunity again. 3-point game. Govs have hit 4 threes. If they want to try to get another one, Dawson Getz has 3 of those. Sawyer Sonnenschein hit one a moment ago as well. Olsen approaching. Mason Clark. Knights switch off as Duke takes over in defense. He reaches around from behind, knocked the dribble away. Olsen tried to get it back, but he'll push it out of bounds. And that'll be turnover number 4 for Pierre. Lent out, CC in. Eric Roby wants the shooters on. They've got 6 seconds to go the length of the floor to close out the first half. Clark back up ahead. Dude travels with it. He jumped up into the air, and then he tried to put the basketball on the floor and really thought he dribbled before he got his feet back down, but it's a travel, and it's turnover number 7. Now the Govs have 2 seconds to go the distance as they'll throw in from their own side. Olsen up ahead. He pushes it from half court, and it's off the back of the rim and just a little off to the left side. No good. That's how our first half will come to an end. It's been a good one, but O'Gorman reclaims the lead at intermission. Score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. It's O'Gorman 28 and the Pierre Governors 25. Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Use their budget plan and keep full service to stay warm all season long with Gales Gas Service in Pierre. Tough quarter of play for the Govs. They'll try to right the ship in the intermission. And we'll get into our halftime break, which is brought to you by Wealth Partners, Ameriprise Financial, and the Capitol Creek Center Plaza, East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. 3 minutes and we're back to talk about it. You're listening to Pierre Governor Basketball and your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and DRGnews.com.
Ameriprise Advisor. Lincoln Navigator at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Every time you approach your Lincoln, you'll receive a re-carpet welcome. Twin turbocharged 3.5 V6 engine with auto start stop technology. You'll travel confidently with technology that meets all your needs. Now you can get the 2023 Navigator for 5.9% at 72 months. Stop in to see the full vehicle lineup at Capital City Ford in Lincoln. Capital City Ford in Pierre, South Dakota.
With our new online loan application, you can go to our website and apply for a loan when it's most convenient for you. We make getting loan approval fast and easy. Our local lenders are available to assist you if you have any questions. We make it pain-free to get that loan you've been wanting. We're at Equal Housing Lending. Hawaii Federal Credit. Your hometown credit union since 1955. Federally insured and CUA.
Make a big impact on your land for less at Grossenberg Implement. Right now, used planters and air seeders are aggressively marked down and have great financing options for those who qualify. Stop by any of Grossenberg's 9 locations in South Dakota, Nebraska, and Wyoming, or check out used planters and air seeders online at grossenberg.com. Grossenberg Implement, where service is the other half of a great deal.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here's your ticket with Live Ticket TV. With over 90 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you advertise locally with just your team or reach the region and state. Plus, a portion of all sales go directly back to the school. Get a hold of Todd Sandel today and let's get started in building your brand with Live Ticket TV.
What if we said a bank isn't a place to lock up money? It's a place to set it free. What if the point of banking wasn't to bank at all, but to put your ideas to work? What if your bank asked, what if a little more? Well, what if we told you we do? We're American Bank and Trust, where what if meets why not? If you're ready to change what you get out of banking, start a relationship with us. What if you made the move today?
When you're thinking of a new or used car, motorcycle, pickup, or RV, think of us. We make all sorts of vehicle loans. We can set you up with payments that fit your budget. So if you have getting some new wheels in mind, stop by and see us. We'll get you the right loan. Dakota Plains Federal Credit Union.
Federally insured by NCUA. We're big on you.
We're small enough to know your name, but we're big on you.
Welcome back to the Oahe Federal Credit
At the end of one quarter of play, but they only put 6 points down in that second period to O'Gorman's 13, and the Knights now lead by 3 here at our Wealth Partners halftime break. Brian Oakland with the play-by-play. Governors started out 7 of 15, but suffered through a 2 for 12 effort in that second quarter. 9 of 27 will be where they're at on the floor here, but they are 4 of 10 from outside the arc, only 3 of 6 from the free throw stripe. Dawson Getz has 3 triples down so far. He's totaled 11 points in that first half, but all of those came in the first half. Luke Olson has been held to 6 so far. Sawyer Sonnenschein has a 3-pointer down. Corday Austin and Lincoln Dilges with 2 points apiece, and Carter Shufflebein with a free throw for the Governors. For O'Gorman, 6 of 12 in quarter number 1, 4 of 8 in the second, 50% both, and they're 10 of 20 overall. Only 2 of 8 from outside. I think normally they shoot a little bit better than that, but they are 6 of 8 on the free throw stripe. And Noon Dute leads with 7 points. Austin Tervine with 6, all in the second quarter off the bench. Brother Caleb Tervine with 5. Jackson Bjorkman and John Lent, a couple of bigs with 4 points each. And Camden Cece, a couple of free throws off the bench for the Knights. Governors doing a better job rebounding, but the Knights still have the edge, 14-12 overall. However, I do have 5 offensive rebounds for the Govs compared to 2 for O'Gorman. Lincoln Dilges with 5 rebounds to lead Pierre overall, and O'Gorman has spread their rebounds out quite a bit. I don't think anybody has more than 2. Governors have induced 7 turnovers by O'Gorman. Pierre turned the ball over 4 times late in that second quarter. Otherwise, things were going quite swimmingly in that department. It's a 7-6 advantage for the Knights in the assist column as well. But I do have 4 assists for Luke Olson to go along with his 6 points in the first half. All told, 28-25, the O'Gorman Knights with the lead, and our Wealth Partners halftime will continue in 3 minutes. You're listening to Pierre Governor Basketball.
For high-quality replacement auto parts, look no further than Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop in Pierre. Zander's has been servicing the Pierre area for over 40 years. Their professional parts techs can get you the part you need and get you back on the road. Stop by Zander Auto Parts and Machine Shop at 500 West Sioux in Pierre or call 224-9221. Zander's, your source for domestic and foreign auto parts and accessories.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
At Ringneck Energy, their mission is to produce renewable energy that adds value to grain and livestock production, enhances the income of their investor partners, and provide a safe, rewarding work environment. Located at 901 Redwood Avenue in Oneida, South Dakota. Call 605-945-6900 or check ringneckenergy.com. A proud supporter of local schools and wishes all students the best of luck in all their activities during the school year, creating economic opportunities in our community.
Ready to gain an edge in your career? Tide Machinery's Service Technician Apprenticeship Program is designed for anyone wishing to become a diesel mechanic working on Case IH equipment through full-time, on-the-job training. Enjoy hands-on work experience, learn from factory-trained service experts, and apply your knowledge from school directly to your work with this unique program opportunity. Become a titan in the industry and grow with a dealership that invests in you at Tide Machinery, Highmore, Miller, and Pierre, your local Case IH dealer. Visit titanmachinery.com/careers to learn more.
The Best Western Ramkota Hotel in Rapid City supports all South Dakota student athletes and their families. They are conveniently located off Interstate 90, close to downtown and minutes from the beautiful Black Hills. The Ramkota offers sports and family-friendly rates. Guests can relax for free in the indoor water park. They have 36,000 square feet of banquet and meeting space, and the award-winning Minerva's Restaurant and Bar is located on site. Best Western Ramkota welcomes everyone to beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.
Do you have a
Back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box. Oahe Federal Credit Union, where people are worth more than money.
Gorman on top as we take a look at a couple of other scores that are going on in South Dakota here today. Checking back in on that Stanley County game, and they're still trailing by 9 after 3 quarters to Unity Christian, 41-32. I think Stanley County, all in all, playing pretty well in that game. I thought Unity Christian might be a little bit better than expected, but here, along with O'Gorman and Pierre, the only other game that's gone final featuring AA teams, boys, has Sturgis losing to Vermilion in Madison today, 67-47. One girls game going on has Jefferson leading Roosevelt 39-29. The rest of the boys schedule today is mostly a little bit later on. In fact, a couple of games later on. Well, boys basketball, Jefferson leads Roosevelt 39-31. And then tonight, Sioux Falls Lincoln plays at T area. Lincoln trying to bounce back from their first loss of the season last night at home to Mitchell. They play the T area Titans this evening, and out in Rapid City, Stevens and Central will play at Stevens High as well. Upcoming action, O'Gorman is next in play Friday and Saturday when they host Rapid City Stevens Friday and Rapid City Central on Saturday. The Governors' next game will be Tuesday night. Governor girls and boys both in action, but both on the road at different locations. The girls will be at Harrisburg. Justin Cowart with the call on that one on KGFX. And I'll head down to Yankton as the Governors take on the Yankton Bucks on Tuesday night. Both of those games 6:30 with 7 o'clock tip-offs. Boys here on River 92.7, the girls on KGFX. Meanwhile, for Governor home fans, Governor wrestling teams will host Yankton. No coverage on that, but there is Governor wrestling at home on Tuesday as well. And then the Governors will go to Mitchell on Thursday, then to the Yankton Invites on Saturday. Gymnastics has ESD today in Yankton. They've got a state qualifying event at Watertown next Saturday in other Governor sports. And then the Oahe Capitals hockey teams are hosting Mitchell today. It's Pink the Rink nights. Hockey team, Governor varsity, I should say the Capitals varsity plays at 8 o'clock against Mitchell. If you happen to go to that, try to wear pink, as the Governors are blacking out cancer here today. The Capitals hockey team is showing their support for cancer awareness. Here are the Governors with a good start in the opening possession of the second half. Dawson Getz feeds inside to Lincoln Dilgis as he starts the second half in place. Well, Carter Shufflebein also starting the second half. And now we've got a tie-up. Sawyer Sonnenschein induces a jump ball with Jackson Bjorkman. It'll stay with the Knights. So you've got Lincoln Dilgis and Carter Shufflebein starting the second half in place of Eladio Simmental and Corday Austin. Luke Olson still out there, Sawyer Sonnenschein and Dawson Getz. The inbound's going to go all the way to the backcourt. O'Gorman's able to run it down. We've got a 1-point game as the Govs strike first in that third quarter. First possession was sponsored by Comtech on the lower truck bypass in Pierre. Here is Mason Clark. He'll find big John Lentz in the lane. Outside to Caleb Tervain, firing three, but that will not go. Dill just blocks out for the rebound, and the Governors will look to try to reclaim a lead. Left to right, I should say right to left now. Olsen to Getz, and Dawson hits it from a long distance, and Beer is back in front with a 5-point flurry to start quarter number 3, 30-28. Jackson Bjorkman, Noon Dute, Mason Clark, John Lent, and Caleb Tervain, the starting 5 in there for O'Gorman. Tervain from the left side, drives baseline. Nice defense by Dilgis helping out, but a bump is not enough to prevent the shot from falling. Tervain scores. That's Caleb, not Austin. Brian, as I put it up on Austin. Here's a 3 by Getz, this time top of the key. It will not go. Lent will rebound for the Knights. We've got a tie ball game at 30-30. 6:20 to go. Third quarter. The Knights wearing the white as the Governors try to black out cancer. They had a little pass the hat event at halftime, or governor, teacher, and coach, I could call it, Greg Steluka. Underneath, Lent kicks out. Noon Doot for three. Rims in and out. No good. There's Jackson Bjorkman for an offensive rebound, and he'll put it back up and in. Doot's shot went halfway down, came back out, but right there was Bjorkman. Now Shufflebine underneath to Sonnenschein. He got a man in the air, but then forces one up over the top. Can't get it to go. And the Knights are looking to add to what is right now a 4-point run and a 2-point lead. Clark to Doot, splitting defenders. Shot up, off the glass, couple of bounces, no good. It's anybody's game right now, or anybody's basketball, and it comes down to Lincoln Dilgis, his 7th rebound of the game unofficially. Part of the reason that Dilgis is starting in the second half, no doubt. 5 boards, he crashed did a nice job in that first half. Now he drives off the feed from Luke Olson and scores. Lincoln Dilgis with 6 points now, 4 of which have come in the second half. The Governors pull even again at 32-32. Clark and Doot will play catch against the top level of the 2-3 zone of the Pierre Governors. Now it's Clark driving, and he'll get held on the way. I believe it's Sonnenschein. Shufflebine is there as well, and it's Carter Shufflebine. His first substitution for the Knights here in the second half with 4:50 to go. In the third, brings in Austin Terveen as Noon Doot will check out. Clark off the inbound takes the handoff. Here is Bjorkman for 3, and that misses everything except the fact that it's caught by John Lent on the backside, and he'll bunny it up and in. 34-32. Sonnenschein wants 3 from way outside, top of the key. That's off the front of the rim, no good, and the Knights have the rebound up again. But Olson will tip a push pass up ahead and out of bounds. Logan Mebius checking in for Caleb Terveen. Mebius had some quality minutes in that first half of play. Good bench production by the Knights, and the Governors are getting that, especially from Lincoln Dilgis. Add Shufflebine into that mix as well. 34-32. O'Gorman with the lead. Gets a block shot of Bjorkman, picked up by Olson. Here come the Govs. Getz stops and fires and hits. Triple number 5 for Dawson Getz. Shades of what we saw from him at Douglas High last week. And the Governors are back in front, 35-34. 4 ties and now 4 lead changes in this game. We're past the halfway point of quarter number 3. Terveen back up to Mason Clark. He is one of them that does not really look to shoot from perimeter. Here's Mebius driving underneath. Loose pass, and Shufflebine will pick it up. But he tries to get it back to Getz, and there's Mebius to take it back. He'll travel, though. He ran into a brick wall called Lincoln Dilgis, and Luke Olson with some helping defense, too. Back-to-back turnovers. Actually, Gorman 2 for 1 that time. They get the travel to finish that sequence of events as well. Jackson Wheeldryer ready to check in, but the Governors have the basketball now with that 1-point lead, 35-34. Olson splits defenders, penetrates. He gets it to Caden Aharts. He has checked into the game, and he has a 3-ball down. The Governors lead by 4, which matches their biggest lead of the game, which came at 19-15. That was the score at the end of 1. Then they lost that lead in the second. They've reclaimed it with a good start to quarter number 3. Knights with a tipped pass. Here's Aharts with a hand check on the drive of Austin Terveen. And Aharts picks up his 3rd personal foul. He's the first player in this game to pick up that many. Wheeldryer in, Bjorkman out, Mason Clark is out, and Camden Cece in for the Knights. Second team foul for the Govs here in the 3rd. Here leading 38-34. Mebius back to Cece. He's driving, he hesitates, and then he scoops it up and in with a nice finger roll. No helping defense there, as it turned out, for the Governors. Olsen spins. Oh, he does it again. No, he doesn't. He can't get it to go. Dill just battling for the rebound, and Jocko Johnston comes in and calls a jump ball. There really wasn't any control claimed, but that's certainly something that Jocko, as long as he's been around, hasn't seen before. The Governors actually get the offensive rebound here, but Luke Olson almost made another dazzling play. Here's a steal for Cece. The breakaway won't go on the layup, and the rebound is tipped back out to Lincoln Dilgis, who just continues to rack up the rebounds here today. 38-36, and Coach Kuzler is going to take a timeout. Our first timeout in the contest today. 2:21 to play in the third. It's Pierre 38, OG 36. This is a 60-second timeout brought to you by Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre. It's a good one, and this is Pierre Governor basketball.
Got bats, ants, termites? Family owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs, there's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
When life gets hard and our thoughts get too much to bear, finding the resiliency within us can help us find healing. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline provides 24/7 free support for anyone in suicidal distress or emotional crisis. All texts and calls are anonymous and connect you to local resources that uphold cultural values and pave the way to healing. Find the strength within you. Find the strength within our culture. Reach out if you need help today.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal
Partners helping us out, including Kathy Sonnenschein Properties, Comtech, Delta Dental, First Dakota National Bank, Maher Law Office, and Midco, and Floss Dentistry in Pierre. More of your Pierre sports marketing partners. The Governor's out of the timeout, but a tip and a takeaway by Camden Cece. We'll get it back to O'Gorman, who trails 38-36 with 2:05 to play in the third quarter. After the Govs trailed by 3 at halftime. Leading by 2 now. Austin Terveen back up top to Cece. Nowhere to go, but he'll give it off to Logan Mabius. Now Terveen open. Dawson Getz interrupts it just enough. Terveen short, but it is an offensive rebound for the Knights. And now we've got a foul on the floor, but everybody's heading the other way. Nope, it is a pure foul. Lincoln Dilgis with his second personal. 3 fouls for the Governors in the second half so far, third period to be specific. And none for O'Gorman to this point. Mishandled on the inbound as Terveen keeps it alive. You'll find Jackson Wheeldryer. Three-pointer is good from the corner. Austin Terveen had some trouble, but he kept his poise and kept control of the basketball. Now O'Gorman has the lead off of that 3-ball down from Wheeldryer. And same play as what Noon Doot did earlier. Here's Dawson Getz. He was ready to shoot and then tried to dribble on the way back down, but called for a travel. 4 turnovers for the Govs in the second half so far. They had 4 in all of the first half. And all of those came in the last 3 minutes of the second period. Now it seems like 4 turnovers here in the third quarter have come in the last 3 minutes. Wheeldryer wants another 3. Airballed again. Bjorkman catches it on the fly, and he's pushed from behind as he reverses it home with the left hand. And a foul call, and he'll have a chance at a 3-point play. Apparently Luke Olson gets him from behind. And suddenly another little scoring flurry for the Knights. And the Governors have to be careful they don't give up another big scoring run as they did to Harrisburg last night. They didn't put the fouler up on the board, but I think it was Olson for his second. Bjorkman at the free throw line finishes the 3-point play, and O'Gorman leads all of a sudden by 4, 42-38. They've scored 6 in a row, actually 8 in a row overall, but they've had a 3-pointer and an old-fashioned 3-point play to score the last 6. Olson to Getz, contested pass. Here's Eladio Simmental back in. as he replaced Sawyer Sonnenschein in that last play stoppage. 10 on the shot clock. Governor's got to go. Here is Olsen splitting defenders, and his first basket of the second half is up and good with another pretty layup. There aren't many players in Class AA who are making plays the way Luke Olsen is time and time again this season. But they're going to need more of that down the stretch here. 20 seconds to go, third period. 42-40, the Knights with the lead and the basketball. They give it to Austin Terveen against Caden Aharts. He drives, might have traveled. Nobody's asking for it other than me, though, as it turns out. Olsen will rebound the miss from Austin Terveen. Up ahead, Cece takes a steal, but he steps out of bounds at the Governor bench, and the Governors are fortunate to reclaim and retain the possession here. 3.8 seconds left in the third. They will inbound and try to get something positive here to close out a third period that's gone back and forth. The inbound will come to the backcourt. Olsen will need to fire long. He got Mebius in the air. He shoots and cannot hit. As the third quarter will come to an end on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, it's O'Gorman 40, and the Pierre Governors make it O'Gorman 42, the Governors 40. Scoreboard brought to you by Gales Gas Service in Pierre. A 2-point ball game going to the fourth, and that's what we do in 60 seconds. We're coming back with more Pierre Governor basketball on River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
Smart Grocery. You're walking so much better. What did you do?
Well, I got so tired of the pain and nearly fell. And one of my friends recommended physical therapy at Winter Physical Therapy. And you know what? My back also stopped hurting.
Huh. So how did you get started?
My doctor wrote me a referral, but that's not always needed. Turns out you always have a choice where you want to go.
So why did you choose Winter Physical Therapy?
I love to support our locally owned small businesses, and quite frankly, they give great personalized care.
Winter Physical Therapy. Exceptional care.
That moment when you realize your furnace is stone cold busted. We're talking a real put on every sweater you own, I can't feel my feet, penguin predicament. But fear not, there's an expert for that.
Let your local heating experts at Pites Service Experts keep you warm with $50 off any furnace repair.
Like it toasty? There's an expert for that.
Call Pites Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
For over 70
back
years.
to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Back at Rick's High Gym, Governors had a nice little lead about midway through that third quarter, but O'Gorman came back. Pierce still outscored them 15-14, but it's the Knights leading 42-40. Brian Oakland, glad to have you along here Saturday afternoon basketball at Rick's High Gym. Knights with the basketball to start the quarter. It's a 15-footer for Logan Mebius that will not go. Terveen kept it alive, then Dawson Getz got a takeaway, but Camden Cece comes back with a turnover. He will feed a takeaway for Mebius, I should say. Mebius to Jackson Bjorkman, who puts the two up and in. Now Mebius again. The steal, the breakaway, no good. Chance for Wheeldryer. He missed once, he missed twice, but it's still O'Gorman basketball. And they'll hit from the baseline. Austin Terveen for two, and a timeout taken by the Governors as O'Gorman scores a quick four, and they're doing it with defense and offensive rebounds to start our fourth quarter of play. Coca-Cola timeout of 60 seconds, and we'll come right back. More Pierre Governor basketball.
Mayfield has earned our reputation locally for serving communities across South Dakota. We provide design and building services for schools, hospitals, churches, commercial offices, multifamily housing, and so much more. Pitts Design Build is conveniently located in Pierre, Mitchell, and Sioux Falls to serve you and your organization. We bring value to our clients by facilitating the design and/or construction process. Give us a call today and check us out at pittsdesignbuild.com for a free building consultation.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Back at Rick's High Gym, that was just a 30-second timeout. Initially, I saw the signal for 60, but the Governors trying to settle in and settle down to start this fourth quarter play. Camden Cece with a couple of steals to make things difficult. Now Luke Olsen, speaking of difficult, drives to the baseline right side, and he's pushed out of the play. He floats one up and in. Tough shot with the left hand. The Governors get a much-needed basket to try to reclaim some momentum. 46-42. By the way, that 46-40 lead for O'Gorman, I think the biggest lead of the day for either team, but I can forget about saying that. I'll say it now. It's a 7-point lead for the Knights as Terveen hits a three-pointer. From the right side, 49-42. Here is Getz. Back to Sawyer Sonnenschein. Carson, Caden Aharts, and Lincoln Dilgis on the floor here. Here's Aharts for three. He's had one already, looking for another. And as Olsen is in position for a rebound, he is tackled by Mabius. And Mabius will pick up his third personal. So the Governors will continue to work hard on the offensive end. Olsen will inbound off the right side of the key. From the baseline, he lobs it in, and Dill just hits the floor. Might have taken a push, but it was Sonnenschein to take the inbound pass after all. Gets from the wing, three ball, no good this time. Dill just going after it. Now it's a loose ball, and it's corralled by Mason Clark. Here's Clark on a tipped pass. He got it right back, and Mason Clark will score in transition. 51-42 O'Gorman. A lead of 9 now. Gets down to Olsen in the corner. Gets again. Now Dilgis at the free throw line. Off the mark on the jumper here. And a foul will be called on Sonnenschein as Cece had the rebound. Right now the Governors are going to have to really settle down and try to slow this game down. They've got to get the right shots they want. They're actually getting some open looks, not able to hit them so far, but again, I think Pierre's got to get their scorers going here. O'Gorman's defense doing a pretty good job, however. Now takeaway for Lincoln Dilgis as Mason Clark lost the dribble. Govs trailing by 9 with 5:25 to go. Here comes Olsen. And essentially, when I say the Governor's scorer's got to get going, Luke Olsen is pretty much who we're talking about. He gets a foul on the floor. Mason Clark with his second personal. O'Gorman with 2, the Govs with 1 foul so far here in the fourth quarter. 5:24 to go as the Govs inbound. Carter Shufflebein in there to take it. Gets it back to Olsen. Goes against the screen, down on the right block. He hits it off the glass, up and over the top of Mason Clark. Govs with 4. Nope, I take that back. The Govs with 2 in a row here. It's 51-44. Will Dreyer was wide open, but he does not shoot this time. Pretty good job by O'Gorman. I'm sure it's already a good time to start chewing some clock. They lead by 7. Noon Duke, top of the key. Jackson Wheeldryer to Austin Terveen. Olsen guarding him. Terveen penetrates, feeds across the lane to the left side. Camden Cece up and in. That was a pretty play, especially on the pass by Austin Terveen. Here is Getz. From Olsen, drives right side, loses his footing. Desperation, gets rid of the pass. It's a steal for Cece. His breakaway, no good, but Olsen clips him and will be called for the foul. Luke Olsen's third personal foul. Camden Cece has taken over this game from a defensive standpoint in the second half. I've got him now with 5 steals, and 3 of them have come here in the fourth quarter. The latest of which puts him at the free throw line after missing that layup but getting fouled. He hits the first free throw here, and that one puts the Knights up by 10. This game was back and forth. Nobody led by more than 5 points going into the fourth quarter. But O'Gorman is off and running here in the final period. Second free throw, no good. It's rebounded by Caden Aharts. And here comes Olsen as he gets around Cece. He fumbled the dribble. He collected it as he's going up for a layup, laid it up and in, but a foul is called well ahead of the shot attempt. Cece picking up his third. And with 4:16 to go, the Governors will inbound. 3 fouls now for the Knights. High lob from Shufflebein. Olsen will take it off the right elbow. He'll back in against Mason Clark. Spin, turnaround shot, no good, but a foul is called, much to the surprise of Mason Clark, who will pick up his third personal. Nobody has 4 fouls yet, but the Knights have 3 players, and the Governors have 2 with 3 fouls each now, but After this one, the Governors will be in the bonus for the last 4:09 of the fourth quarter of play, and they get 2 shots here as Luke Olson fouled in the act of shooting. The first one is up and good. Ole with 13 points now, 7 of which have come in the second half. The second free throw is also swished home, so 14 on the day. Dawson Getz leads with 17, including 5 3-pointers. Here's a ball, gets away in the backcourt. Knights can't save it. It's out of bounds, and Pierre with a full court pressure, inducing a turnover. The lead cut to 8. And now a chance to cut into it even more. 4 minutes to go, halfway home in the fourth period. Luke Olson for the boys in black on the right side. Again, gets around Clark. The reverse is good. Luke Olson starting to try to take this one over. 54-48 to the Governors, and come from behind move. Kick, save, and a beauty by Dawson Getz, but it's out of bounds, and the Knights will inbound. Still in the backcourt. Clark catching a break for the Knights. It'll be Caleb Terveen, starting guard, back in. Noon due to inbound. The Governors in man pressure right now. They'll get it in to Cece, but up ahead, and a foul. No, a timeout taken by Derek Roby. His first Coca-Cola timeout called in the game. A 30-second break here with 3:43 to go. Knights by 6, and we're back in 30. This is Governor basketball.
Taking care of your vehicle.
The Corner Station Convenience Store and the Crossing Pub are both conveniently located on Pleasant Drive in Pierre, South Dakota. At the Corner Station, grab your favorite hot and cold beverages and snacks while filling your vehicle up with Cenex brand gasoline. The Corner Station also features a super tunnel car wash to keep your vehicle sparkling clean. At the Crossing, grab a cold beverage and check out their selection of appetizers while watching the Stanley County Buffaloes and Pierre Governors live on their big screen televisions. Best of luck to all area students from the Corner Station and the Crossing.
DRG Media.
Back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box.
River 92.7, KGFX FM, and K296FI Pierre. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
We're back at Riggs High Gym. It's a good one again, 54-48. Well, Gorman basketball with that 6-point lead. Pierre Sports Marketing Partners helping out Governor Sports, including the Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce and the Pierre Dental Clinic. Pitts Design and Build, Red Rosa, Stulkin Peterson, Lingo, Walti Jones, LLP, Wagner Auto, and the South Dakota National Guard. Brian Oakland with a play-by-play. The Knights work it inside. Cece will leave it with Jackson Bjorkman, who is back in there. And he will get one off the glass over the top of a Governor defender, and the Governors come back and get a return bucket from Caden Aharts. Up ahead come the Knights again. Still a 6-point game. 56-50 now as Austin Terveen slices through defenders and leans one up with the left hand. Layup attempt no good, but a foul call that goes to Carter Shufflebein. This is his second personal. Clock stops with 3:13 to play. Sawyer Sonnenschein going to come in after free throws here. Or after the first one. The first one rims in and out. It won't go for Terveen. Sonnenschein in, Shufflebein out. Sawyer probably going to be in there more in defensive situations with his quickness, because he's very good at hounding ball handlers and things like that. Second one for Terveen is good. He's had a fine game off the bench, as he has 12 points now. 57-50 the Knights by a touchdown. Here's Olson on the right side. Now Dawson Getz right back to Luke Olson. Under 3 minutes to play. Getz providing a screen. Olson using the ball handling. He'll leave it with Sonnenschein, and he'll get it back. 12 to shoot. Underneath, here's Lincoln Dilgis. He is fouled on the floor by Jackson Bjorkman, but again, the Governors are in the bonus the rest of the way in this in regulation. And Bjorkman picks up his third personal, so Lincoln Dilgis goes to the free throw line. He'll have a chance to shoot a pair. 2:47 left in regulation here. And again, Govs are going to need offense with get some defensive stops at the same time. First free throw this time is good for Dilgis. He'll get another. Try to cut it to 5. And Lincoln's shot is up short this time. And the rebound is pulled down by O'Gorman. Left to right, Dute across the timeline to set things up, and he'll leave it with Cece. Olsen sagging off a bit. Cece puts it into motion to Bjorkman. Still high post, left side. Now he gets around Dilgis, drives and scores. Jackson Bjorkman having a good game. He has 15. That, in fact, leads the Knights in scoring this afternoon. 59-51, O'Gorman. Olsen trying to find an opening against Bjorkman. He finds Getz now for three in the corner. A big one down for the Governors. Dawson Getz hits his sixth triple of the day. Here cuts it to 5 and a timeout taken by the Governors with 2:08 to play. A Coca-Cola break in the action. We're back in 30 seconds. This is Governor Basketball.
Is the official voice of the Pierre Governors. Our hash mark over the middle and wide open at the 30-yard line. Carter shuffle by and touchdown. Here's Olsen. Plenty of time. 3 seconds. Gets to shoot, and it's good for 3. From football, volleyball, and soccer to basketball, wrestling, and softball. Follow the Pierre Governors on the official voice of the Govs, River 92.7, and also on the River 92.7 page of the DRG News smartphone app and drgnews.com.
Briggs Trucking. Back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box.
Back at Riggs High, a three-pointer for Dawson Getz to cut it to 5, gives him 20 points on the day. But the Governors still trailing 59-54. There is plenty of time in this game, but it's up to the Governor defense here to keep this team in the game and give them the best chance to win. A game that, they definitely could use. Govs are 12th in the power rankings coming in. O'Gorman trying to stay in the home matchups as they come in at number 8. Here's Cece. He was just backpedaling, and the officials didn't see him traveling. Yeah, no. What do we got? A foul on the far side? Nope, a timeout taken by Coach Roby once again here with an even 2 minutes to go. 59-54. This one is another 30-second Coke break, and we're back with more for Governor Basketball.
As a cooperative, provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Graham Tire.
Back to the Oahe Federal Credit Union press box.
Here's your game reset. 59-54. The O'Gorman Knights lead the Governors with 2 minutes to play here in regulation. Team fouls have O'Gorman with 5. The Governors are in the bonus. The Governors have committed 3 fouls here in the fourth quarter, so they still have one to give. Possession arrow points in Pierre's favor. The Knights get the ball in bounds, but as defenders are split from Austin Trevine, he'll try to penetrate, and Lincoln Dill just called for a foul. That'll be his 3rd. And again, the last to give there for the Govs, so now the Knights are in the bonus after this throw-in the rest of the way. You're still hoping for that defensive stop, sorely needed here. CC inbounds it up top, lobbing to Austin Trevine. Sonnenschein on him. Govs in man. Sonnenschein switches off on Cece, though. And here's Trevine back with it again. The Knights will try to chew as much time off the shot clock as they can. Trevine had better start making some progress. He does with the dribble and now gets it to Cece again. We're under 10 in the possession. Cece coming up against Sonnenschein, drives and scores. Govs did pretty much everything they could, but Camden Cece's just having a great second half. Olsen the other way, a little right-handed reverse on the left side. Good, still a 5-point game, but the Knights break pressure, and they get it from Cece up ahead to Bjorkman, and a timeout taken after the shot made. This one goes to O'Gorman. A full timeout at 63-56. With 1:07 to go, we're back in 30 seconds. This is Governor Basketball.
Thinking of travel?
Hometown Shop, specializing in tires to fit vehicles, from ATVs to large farm equipment and everything in between. At your tire store next door, you can find a plethora of brand name tires that range from 4 to 10 ply and much more. Our highly skilled technicians can handle brakes, heating, and air conditioning. Call us today at 224-8643 or visit us at GrahamTire.com. Graham Tire is a proud sponsor of Pierre and surrounding communities' local activities.
Scott Darnold back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Here, but Gorman right now 7 points better, 63-56 lead. Next action for Governor Sports, as mentioned here at Riggs High Gym, is Governor Wrestling Tuesday night. No coverage on that. We've got 2 basketball games on the road to cover as well. But the Pierre Governors, as I check in on the Brookings Invitational, and I'm seeing the Governors scoring 220.5 points. I got to try to realize whether I'm looking at the girls or the boys' results, however. At any rate, we'll get set to go back into play once again. That's the Governor boys leading the Brookings Invite. We'll check more on that coming up in the postgame. 63-56 as we enter the final minute of the fourth quarter. Here's Dawson Getz. Deep three, and it's good. A long assist to Luke Olson, and the Governors need more and more and more of Dawson Getz as he has his 7th three-pointer of the day. His second time in the last 4 games he's knocked down 7 from the edge of the three-point line. 63-59, another 30-second timeout from Coca-Cola Bottling in Pierre, and we're back with a good finish coming up. This is Governor Basketball.
Pierre is ready to help you find your dream home. There are 10 things you need to do to buy or sell your home. Number 1, call him at 605-220-2676, and he'll handle the other 9. As your resident realtor on a bike, he will make buying or selling your home feel like a walk in the park, not an Ironman triathlon. Find him on Facebook or email scott@LeeRealEstatePierre.com. Lee Real Estate and Scott are proud sponsors of Central South Dakota Youth Sports and Events broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Lucky for
Back
us.
to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
63-59, the Governors using their 4th allotted timeout. They've got 1 left. O'Gorman, I believe, has 2 left to use. And as I was looking at wrestling, I think the Governor girls wrestling team went to Aberdeen today. So I'm going to have to look things up as to see how things are faring there as well. Once again, that's for the post game. But here we go in a 4-point ball game. It is O'Gorman basketball in the last minute of regulation. Governors hoping for a defensive stop. Man pressure, and they've got a steal. A Luke Olson takeaway. Now Olson looking to drive, but he is fouled, and he'll take a seat on the end of the floor bleachers here. And the Governor crowd applauding the effort and the hustle of Luke Olson. He'll pick up a foul for Austin Terveen. That's his first, but a big takeaway for the Governors. And now foul shots coming as Pierre will try to cut into a 4-point deficit. Free throw short for Luke Olson. He's 2 for 4 on the line so far today. Caleb Terveen out. Mason Clark checks in for O'Gorman. And I imagine he's in for point guard duties. Olson short again. A rare double miss, but now Dawson Getz with a big offensive rebound. Olson for 3! It's Aharts! Caden Aharts for 3! We've got a 1-point game. 30 seconds to go. O'Gorman will break the pressure. Bjorkman on the other end gets a man in the air, and the Governors will foul. Valley denied an easy layup, which is big. This is it Aharts, I believe? Yes, it is. That's his 4th personal. They had to hustle back as O'Gorman had beaten him down the floor. A big turn of events for the Governors. A Luke Olson steal. He missed 2 free throws, but Dawson Getz had a rebound and a kick out to Aharts, who hit the 3 to cut it to 1. But now Jackson Bjorkman, calm, cool, and collected at the free throw line, hits 1 big one. He's got another one coming. Either way, it's still going to be a single possession game. Second free throw, back iron, no good. A nice rebound for Olson, who gets one with a long-armed effort. Final timeout will be taken with 19 seconds to go in regulation for the Pierre Governors. 64-62, O'Gorman leading. Do they hold on? Or the Governors, can they get a bucket down? We'll find out when we come back. You're listening to Pierre Governor Basketball. We're back in 30 seconds on this Coca-Cola timeout.
From the early days, choices, big and small, they define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
19.1 seconds left back here at Riggs High Gym. O'Gorman 64, the Governors 62. Both teams in the free throw bonus. The Governors now out of timeouts. O'Gorman still has a couple left at their disposal, but it is Pierre basketball as they will look to try to get 2-pointers down or a 3-pointer maybe to take the lead. The Governors in a position, and what they're hoping for is to get a victory that can really kind of be a signature victory for them. This game right now has that sort of playoff appeal or playoff atmosphere. Pierre will inbound. They get it in from Dawson Getz to Luke Olson, and here we go. Olson, of course, you're watching Dawson Getz if you're the Knights because he's got 7 threes. Olson backs out to direct traffic, keeps it away from Cece. Olson tries to drive. He takes a push from Terveen. Olson lost the dribble momentarily. He somehow kept his hand above the basketball. I think O'Gorman was hoping for a carry. They didn't get that. What they get is a push for Austin Terveen. And with 5.1 seconds left, the senior Luke Olson at the free throw line to shoot 2, but the first one rattles in and out, no good. Now he's probably got to miss the next one and try to get an offensive rebound for the Governors as they trail by 2. Well, he just pushes it up. You can't do it that way off the glass because it has to touch the rim, and it doesn't do that. It comes straight back off. The Governors are going to need to foul or try to hope for a steal. And no foul. Sonnenschein will foul Austin Terveen. Boy, too bad for Luke Olson. He's missed 4 free throws down the stretch here in the fourth quarter, and that's just something that does not happen for the Governors super senior. So tough break there. Terveen, meanwhile, on a foul from Sawyer Sonnenschein, his third. He'll get 2 free throws. 4.3 seconds left now. Governors hoping he misses at least one. Terveen, good stroke, but this one rims in and out, no good. Not the easiest thing to ask a player to do. If he misses another one, an all-important rebound, the Governors don't have any timeouts. They're going to have to go the length of the floor no matter what happens. Free throw is good. At least Pierre can set up an inbound play, and O'Gorman will take a timeout. 4.3 seconds left, 65-62. The Govs will need a long one after this 30-second Coke break. Coca-Cola timeout. You're listening to Governor Basketball.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers' aerial needs since 2020. With locations in Letcher and Miller, Dakota Pro Air is able to provide service to a large area. Ground conditions too wet or just don't want those sprayer tracks in your field? Give Dakota Pro Air a call for all your chemical and fertilizer application needs at 605-248-2314.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union press box.
Welcome back to Riggs High Gym, one of the best games of the year. Of course, those who saw the Washington game a few weeks ago, this one reminiscent of that one, that Pierre had a 3-point lead, and then Washington hit one at the buzzer to force overtime. They ended up winning that one. The Governors are hoping to do that here against the O'Gorman Knights as they now trail 65-62. Who's it going to be? Well, Dawson Getz has hit 7 of them. Obviously, Pierre wants to get the ball in his hands somehow. Caden Ahartz has a couple of threes. Sawyer Sonnenschein has 1 in this game. Of course, Luke Olson capable of hitting them too. The inbound to Olson up against Clark. He throws up one from half court, but a foul will be called. And it's going to be a 2-shot foul. In the bonus, they're calling it on the floor. And Brianna Kusler says he's in the act of shooting. He's got 1.4 seconds left, and Olson's probably thinking he's got to try to beat the buzzer. And Brianna Kusler pleading with Lee Johnson, saying, why not 3? And essentially, I guess they're just saying the foul is on the floor. The foul goes to Mason Clark. Certainly not a bad foul if you are O'Gorman. Olson's first one, very important. He gets this one to go, but now he's in a situation where he's going to have to miss one again. You can't do it by throwing the ball off the rim without it touching off the glass without it touching the rim. And he does it again. It's just, once again, you're trying to get him to line drive. If you're going to do anything, folks, my personal opinion is kind of communicate with somebody to come in from behind. Here's a foul that'll go to Cece as Olson pushes it. Pushes Cece out of bounds. 1 second left in this game. So seriously, if you're going to intentionally miss, why not just try to miss off the side, get a rebounder coming in from behind, and hopefully you can bounce one off. But that's the all-important point. It has to hit the rim if it's going to remain in play. 2 shots here for Camden Cece. The first one will find its way down, and O'Gorman leads by 3. Obviously, one more will seal the deal here. The Govs are going to need a rebound, and a full-length shot. No good. Not going to happen as Cece hits it. Now Olson will push it the length of the floor to no avail. O'Gorman escapes on the final score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard. 2 free throws, the final nail in the coffin. It's the Knights 67, the Governors 63. A very hard-fought loss by the Pierre Governors here today. High-scoring fourth quarter. O'Gorman with the advantage, 25-23. And they win it by 4, 67-63. Another great effort by the Govs, but another one where, again, there's no moral victories in high school sports. You can certainly look at a lot of positives, however, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to Brianna Kusler about this one. We'll take a 3-minute timeout. Your final score on the Gales Gas Service scoreboard, it's a 4-point O'Gorman win. Gales Gas Service of Pierre offering their budget plan and keep full service to help you stay warm all season long with Gales Gas Service in Pierre. 3-minute timeout, and your Family Dental postgame is next. Family Dental with offices in Pierre and Gettysburg. The full recap, the big plays of the game from Hermanson Endodontics, your Cowboy Country Store's player of the game, all part of our Family Dental post game coming up in 3 minutes. Governor Basketball is on, your official voice of the Govs, River 92.7 and drgnews.com.
The team provides complete plumbing and drain cleaning services to commercial and residential customers. Olson Plumbing understands how the simple things in life are often the things we can't live without, and running water is the top of the list. Olson Plumbing offers 24/7 emergency services, and they can be at your location in under an hour in most cases. If you need help with your plumbing system, call Olson Plumbing 605-224-6436.
You asked for it. Nonstop flights between Pierre and Minneapolis. Now you can book nonstop flights from Pierre to Minneapolis and Denver on Denver Air Connection. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets with fares starting at just $119 one way. Seats are limited and restrictions apply. Business, pleasure, a game, a winter getaway. It's easy when you fly from Pierre. Visit DenverAirConnection.com/Expedia to book your trip today. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Minneapolis flights begin November 30th.
In a world that's always moving, your journey matters. And at Iverson Auto Group, we're here to get you on the road with a great selection of new and used vehicles and trailers, and keep you on the road with top-notch service, maintenance, and support. Every mile of your journey, the experienced team at Iverson Auto in Mitchell and Huron are here to help. Visit us in Mitchell and Huron or start your search at iversonauto.com to begin your journey today.
At Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore, they've been building partnerships for life by treating customers right, offering a low-pressure sales process, no haggling over price, passing low overhead savings on, and providing a Ford-certified service department fixing it right the very first time. If you're looking for a new Ford, a quality pre-owned vehicle, a new or used ATV, or a trailer, stop by Jan Bussey Ford and Highmore and experience the difference.
Jan Bussey Ford, building partnerships for life.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the Owyhee Federal Credit Union Press Box.
Production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as a basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. Part-time wages starting at $20 an hour. Call 833-605-LIVE, extension 3. That's 833-605-5483, extension 3, and punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
Cesar, you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building. The garage doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
Welcome back to Riggs High. Jim here as the Governors have another doggone it anyway as they fall 67-63 here to the O'Gorman Knights. And I'm thinking back to our conversation with O'Gorman head coach Derek Roby before this game about how, parity in Double-A and how once you get to the Sodak 16, how important it is to have a home game. O'Gorman comes in as the 8th power-rated team. They would be the last team with a home game. And, they'll keep that at least with a victory here today. But we talked also about how many teams there are in Double-A that teams might not want to play. And Coach Roby said once you get past Lincoln and Mitchell, it's everybody else is pretty much a toss-up, whether it be a 4-8 Governor team now or like a 4-8 Sioux Falls Roosevelt team that did beat O'Gorman last Saturday, or certainly pick your poison anyone else in Class AA, or now the 9-4 O'Gorman Knights. Do you really want to play that team when you get to the postseason as well, especially if you happen to be playing in their gym? Of course, the Govs would love to have a home game, but it's right now just wins are getting harder and harder to come by, and the schedule's really not getting any easier either. Right now, as the Govs fall 67-63, Pierre in a back-and-forth game. We did have 4 ties and 5 lead changes, but O'Gorman took the lead late in the third quarter, and they held it throughout the fourth period as well. We did go back and forth a bit in the first quarter when Pierre ended up with a 19-15 lead. But the second quarter, a little bit stale offensively as O'Gorman outscored Pierre 13-8, and they led 28-25 at halftime. Pierre had a great start to the third period and then came back and took a lead. But again, back and forth we went, and O'Gorman finished with a bit of a flurry and led 42-40 at the end of 3. And then all that scoring in the fourth quarter. Here's my shooting stats. Fourth quarter alone, Pierre was 8 for 10, including 3 threes in that fourth quarter. O'Gorman was 9 out of 12 in the fourth quarter on the floor, including 1 three-pointer, and of course they hit a few more free throws. The Governors, they haven't struggled hitting free throws much this season, but they did have some struggles today, and unfortunately that's going to be one of the reasons they come up a little bit short rather than at least prolonging this game, if not coming out on top. We certainly have a lot to talk about this one. By the way, welcome to our Family Dental Postgame, sponsored by Family Dental with offices in Pierre and Gettysburg. Let's start with the Govs after shooting just 9 of 27 in that first half of play. Again, hot shooting in that fourth quarter, but 14 of 21 overall, and Pierre will finish just shy of 50% at 23 of 48. They hit 10 threes in this game in 20 tries. Certainly the Govs would take that any time. Dawson Getz with another game, 7 out of 9 from long range. Same stats that he had at Douglas a week and a half ago, but he hit 7 big ones in this one. Sawyer Sonnenschein hits 1. Caden Ahart's had 2, including a big one in the fourth quarter as well. But Dawson Getz will lead with 23 points overall. By the way, free throws, Pierce 7 out of 15, and a couple of those were intentionally missed by Luke Olson, but Luke did miss 4 of them in a row down the stretch, and that's just I know he's going to be kicking himself for that, but hey, that's basketball, and that's that's the way it is. It's a tough thing to ask a teenage kid to do, to hit free throws in the clutch. Luke will hit them most of the time, but just didn't happen today. Again, Dawson Getz with 23. Olson will finish with 19 in this one. Good production off the bench today from Caden Ahart's 2 threes and 8 points overall. Lincoln Dilgis with 7 points in this one. Sawyer Sonnenschein had a 3-pointer. Corday Austin with 2. And it was Carter Schuffelbein with 1 point in this one today. The Govs with 63 on the board. As for the Knights, again, good shooting. They were 50% in the first half, 15 of 27 in the third and fourth quarters. So they're better than 50%, 25 out of 47 on the day. Hit 4 out of 15 from long range, and they go 13 of 19 from the free throw line. In that fourth quarter alone, they were 6 out of 10. And they are led in scoring by 3 players in double digits. Jackson Bjorkman will lead with 18 points. Mason Clark, Austin Terveen off the bench with 13. Then Camden Cece with 11 points, and he did a lot of other good things that we'll touch on in a little bit. Neun Doot with 7 points. Caleb Terveen with 7 points. It's John Lent with 6, and then 3 for Jackson Wheeldryer on a 3 ball off the bench. Mason Clark will finish with 2, 67-63. O'Gorman with the win. The other stats have the Knights leading the rebounding overall, 25-22. And again, they spread their rebounding around quite a bit. The Governors, though, with an 8-6 advantage on the offensive end, and overall rebounding, the advantage goes to Lincoln Dilgis. I've got him with 9 pull downs in this one, so that was another reason he played so many minutes off the bench in this game, because he was the one that was probably crashing the boards better than anybody on the floor today. But the Governors, who didn't commit a turnover until late in that third period, ultimately commit 11, and they do induce 13 as well on the part of the Knights, and Pierre has a 15-13 advantage in the assist column. And 10 of those coming at least, I've got Luke Olson with 10 assists along with 19 points in this game, but just not quite enough for the Governors as they fall 67-63, the final in this one. Take another 3-minute timeout. Brianna Kusler will be coming by in just a few moments. We've got big plays of the game coming up and your player of the game to talk about as well. Your Hermanson Endodontics big plays will be coming back after a 3-minute timeout. You're listening to Pierre Governor Basketball.
This is Coach Scott.
Being local means more than being just another small-town business. It means showing up for our member owners when they need us, supporting the organizations that empower the next generation of community leaders and agriculturalists, and providing resources to help ensure the communities we live in are here for generations to come. At AgTegra Cooperative, local isn't just about where our locations are. It's about serving our farmers, our employees, and our communities in ways that nobody else will.
Hey Josie, why so glum, chum? I can't find a way to get my whole group to one spot without taking all these cars. You haven't heard of Denwall Transportation? They have luxury seating buses with air conditioning, outlets to charge your phone, and other must-haves for traveling. Whoa, no way! Yeah, you should check them out. Where can I find them? You can follow them on Facebook or denwalltransportation.com, or hey, let's give them a call at 605-532-3836. Denwall Transportation, let us do the driving.
Now's your chance for a great deal on smoking fast fiber internet from Venture Communications. Upgrade to the speed you need, up to 1 gig. And with whole home Wi-Fi included as part of your service, experience no-lag gaming, your favorite music, web surfing, HD video streaming, and connect to the latest smart devices. If you're ready for an upgrade, call or visit Venture Communications online.
Allied Plumbing and Heating is your contact for business, farm, commercial, and residential plumbing needs located in Pierre. No job is too big or small for Allied. Put our over 50 years of experience to work for you. At Allied Plumbing and Heating, the only surprise we want for our customers is how fast they get the job done. That's why we offer free estimates on every single service, no hidden charges. Give them a call today at Allied Plumbing and Heating. Remember, you can rely on your allies.
John Hoffman Electric is your neighborhood electrical service contractor, and so much more. No job is too big or too small for our team of professionals. We pride ourselves on keeping up with new technologies, such as Aerial, an augmented reality visual tool used to customize and experience a finished space before breaking ground. So whether you're building new or renovating a home, farm, or commercial space, let John Hoffman Electric light the way. John Hoffman is a proud sponsor of all local activities broadcast on Live Ticket TV.
Protect what matters most with the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, American Family Insurance. Our personalized insurance solutions ensure you're covered, no matter what life throws your way. From home and auto to farm, commercial, and life, we tailor policies to fit your unique needs. With our dedicated team and exceptional service, you'll have peace of mind knowing you're in good hands. Contact the Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, LLC.
Back to the Owyhee
three, and I'll be quite honest, I think this game really turned in O'Gorman's favor once Camden Cece got in everybody's kitchens because he was taking steals away. O'Gorman did a great job in getting steals today, takeaways from the Governors, literally, not just intercepting passes. That's something the Govs have become very adept at doing and very good at. But today, Camden Cece and some of the other Knights today were just somehow able to take the ball away when the Govs were more or less holding the basketball, just looking for a pass, and that kind of got the Govs out of focus at times. Camden Cece with a couple of steals in that third quarter, but 3 big ones to start the fourth quarter. And O'Gorman right away in that fourth quarter did have a bit of a flurry. They were up 42-40, but they built the lead. In fact, they built a double-digit lead when this game had, it looked like all game long, had no business having either of these teams leading by double figures. But it was part of that defense that turned into offense. And again, the transition offense of the O'Gorman Knights came up big in that fourth quarter as well. And Camden Cece is today's, I should say he turns in the biggest plays of the game. Those big plays helping O'Gorman to the victory are sponsored by Hermanson Endodontics in Pierre. And before we talk about your player of the game from Cowboy Country Stores, Coach Brianna Kusler up to talk about this one. And another one, Coach, I just said doggone it anyway. I know we've had a few of these this year, but you're playing a team that, you know, the style of a team that you might see in the postseason ultimately, and this is it certainly had that kind of postseason feel to it. Another great effort, but just if you could take away a couple of 2 or 3 minute stretches in that game, I think you come out on top in this one.
Yeah, 32 minutes is what we're hoping for, or if we need to go extra, putting those together. But yeah, I feel like we're inching closer toward a complete 32 minutes, but we're not enough just yet, and then that was what you saw tonight. And we still have a couple of those lapses defensively, offensively, that we've got to find a way to minimize those as much as possible and continue to put. We're not going to make everything. I thought our offensive boarding and just I thought overall pretty much our presence on the glass was pretty solid, but we're not going to make everything. And in a loss like this, it's going to be the magnifying glass is going to be on, well, we got to make free throws. And yep, we do. And the boys know that. But at the end of the day, that's not what this comes down to.
They've been hitting free throws all year. This
Absolutely.
was a little bit different.
Yep. And we don't, if we don't put ourselves in the position to need to knock down free throws, which of course, yep, they're important. Absolutely. But I think there's still some stretches that if we clean up a little bit, then we're not in the must make type of a situation. So absolutely not on any individual. This is, us coaches, myself especially. I got to find a way to get these guys a win in these close games, and that's, you're going to get that with some inexperience. But at this point in the season, we're all experienced. We're veterans, so you have to be. We can talk about that the first couple of weekends, but we've got to find ways to win these games, these close ones, because at the end of the day, regardless of if we're at home, if we're on the road for the Sodak 16 game, all it takes is one win. And that's what we need to figure out, how to put those things together to be to be peaking at the right moment. And, again, I think there were moments tonight, and putting forth more of those stretches together tonight than what we maybe saw last night even, and that's going to be important moving forward to inching our way toward that 32 minutes.
A lot of great moments. I mean, you were down early, you took a lead at the end of the first quarter, you kind of surrendered that, and it did go a little bit quiet offensively in that second period. I think that's kind of the one quarter you'd love to have back, or the 3-minute stretch maybe that you'd have to have back. And then you come back in the third quarter and you make a big run. You take the lead. They do get it back, although it was that fourth quarter. And as you just came over here and we got you headset it up here, I was talking about Camden Cece, number 15 for O'Gorman. He got some steals in there where all of a sudden, I think in that fourth quarter, his quickness was something you weren't quite ready for. And I know you had to take the early time out to kind of get everybody back on that same page. But just another little turning point. And there's so many momentum swings in this game, and that's why it felt like a playoff game, because this one really is the kind of game you want to be playing, win or lose right now, no matter what. But again, great effort, but you just kind of wonder what could have been. It's preparing us for down
the stretch here, and I mean, but we got to find ways to get they deserve it. They've earned it, or they're working toward earning it here. I mean, every single day in practice, they give us everything that they have, and we got to put this together now, doing it together, and that's what I love about the locker room is that's what it is. We don't have guys separate right now. It's they're connected still, and which gives me confidence that we're going to get this right. We're going to put things together, but time is thin. We're into February now, and we've got to be starting. We got a big stretch of games here. I mean, after Tuesday, we got a little bit of a time off, but then after that, we've got a lot of games that we need to start beating some of these teams that are ahead of us.
Learned a lot about some of you guys off the bench today, especially Aharts and Dilgis and Lincoln, and the way he was pulling those rebounds down today. I mean, that is. I really looked at O'Gorman's lineup and again saw 6'4", 6'4", 6'5", a lot like Harrisburg last night, and thinking, boy, these they better get the rebounds today. But that rebounding battle was huge, and you got the offensive advantage, and you're just short on overall on my stat sheets. But big effort from Lincoln Dilgis today.
Yeah, outstanding job. He's been one who we've started to back him off a little bit in JV, but he's given us such quality minutes and quality experience there, and kind of expediting that process of being prepared, and he's certainly showing us that he's ready to compete. What he does well is he just competes his butt off all the time, and good things happen because of that, and he communicates well, and even if he's unsure, he says something, I think if we can get him to knock down a couple of those little jumpers too, and which he's capable of, we've got to keep shooting with confidence. But, as a whole, I felt like the fight was there. I certainly do not fault our effort in the slightest. They clawed their way back. They found a way, and unfortunately, we just were a couple points too behind to make up for it. And so again, something that we've got to we've got to work on and find a way to not even be in the situation that we were down the stretch there.
Even talked with Coach Roby before the game about how you don't want to. There aren't that many teams that you're going to want to play, especially if you're a team like O'Gorman and may have a home game. But once again, it just had that playoff atmosphere. So you look ahead. You do have a Yankton team that yes, they may have had their struggles from time to time this year, but they played Brandon Valley really tough, just as you did last week as well. That's going to be a fun one, but a tough test on the road Tuesday night.
Oh yeah, it'll be lucky for us, we get to go and play again on Tuesday. I think the boys will appreciate that a little bit, just being able to respond to this. I thought that from last night to tonight, we saw a really solid response, and now it's just finishing, finding ways to put a complete game together, and different guys stepping up at different times. I think you saw that tonight. Caden Ahart's knocked down a couple shots late. Dilgis was playing solid for us all the entire game, and then our usual guys that have put some stuff together. And you have Shuff and Shufflebine coming off the bench, Sutton. We've got pieces there, and we're still growing, and we're still sticking together, and we'll put it together when it counts.
Coach, appreciate the effort tonight. Yeah. It was a great ball game for a basketball fan, no matter who you're rooting for. But we'll get them one of these days. We'll see you Tuesday in Yankton. All right.
Thank you.
Brianna Kuzler, the Governor head coach. The Govs fall by the score of 67 to 63. O'Gorman with the victory. We do have one order of business to take care of: the naming of today's Cowboy Country Store's player of the game. We're going to give it to one of the Knights in this one, but certainly Dawson Getz shined again with 7 threes, 23 points to lead the way after he got somewhat shut down against Harrisburg last night. Luke Olson still doing Luke Olson things, but he would love to have that fourth quarter back a little bit. He still finishes with 19 points. Great efforts from Caden Ahart. Lincoln Dilgis with 9 rebounds tonight, along with his 7 points as well. A lot of pats on the back for the Governors, but a few more to give to the O'Gorman Knights. We'll touch on them after we hear from Cowboy Country Stores, your player of the game, coming up.
Howdy, partners. Did you know that you can save up to 30 cents on a gallon of gas instantly when you use the Sinclair DinoPay app at all Cowboy Country Store locations? It's true, and it's fast, secure, and simple to use. Just go to your app store and download the green DinoPay app, follow the prompts, and save big money at the pump today.
Convenience from the country, Cowboy Country Stores.
Well, Cowboy Country Stores for players of the game. Jackson Bjorkman leads the Knights with 18 points today. Austin Terveen had a big effort off the bench today, 13 points, but I'm going with the third guy. 11 points from Camden Cece, the 6'1 junior guard off the bench. Forget about the 11 points. Well, he did hit 2 free throws to ice it with 1 second left. That's what made it a 4-point margin of victory, but it's those 5 steals from Cece late in the third quarter, early fourth quarter. We talked about that being the turning point of the game and our big plays of the game, and really Camden Cece is the one that I think almost personally turn this game around. And then he started dishing out some assists in those transition baskets, 3 dishes in the fourth quarter. Kind of waited his turn to get into the game, but he certainly made the most of it as O'Gorman breaks a little 2-game skid in this one with a 67 to 63 win. Camden Cece, the junior guard, is today's player of the game, sponsored by Cowboy Country Stores in Pierre and Fort Pierre. So O'Gorman waits another week to play. Friday and Saturday they get Rapid City Stevens and Central in their home gym. And meanwhile, the Governors go on the road once again down to Yankton on a school night of all things. It'll be a 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock tip-off. We'll have it here on River 92.7, and you'll be able to see it as well, drgnews.com. Meanwhile, the Governor girls who did not play today, they, of course, played O'Gorman last night. They play Harrisburg on Tuesday. While the Governor boys are at Yankton, the Governor girls also on the road as they go to Harrisburg. That game will be on KGFX, 1060 AM, 103.1 FM with Justin Coward on the call on that one. And then Tuesday night will be the last game for the Governor boys this week. Saturday, the Governor girls will be back on the road, back down to the Metro when they take on T-Area. Get our first look at the T-Area gym when Saturday rolls around next weekend. Governor Wrestling, once again, is hosting Yankton Tuesday night. We won't be on the call on that one, but your next opportunity to see the Governor athletes in action is Tuesday night here on at Riggs High Gym. And one other thing we want to remind you about, the Pierre Drama Club is presenting their one-act plays that they'll be taking to the State Festival in Brookings next weekend. There's one more performance of the one-acts, and that's tonight at 7 o'clock at the Riggs High School Theater. Hope everybody gets an opportunity to come out for that. It is a $6 cover charge for $4 for students. Pierre Governor wrestlers are in two different locations, but they both get tournament victories, assuming maybe those tournaments are close to being over, if not already. The Governor girls scoring 206.5 in Aberdeen at the Lee Wolf Invitational. Aberdeen Central was second at 168.5. Pierre Governor boys with 220.5 points ahead of Madison at 185, Harrisburg at 152.5. So good weekend for the wrestlers, and hopefully we'll see good things from the Governor gymnasts as well, who are competing at the ESD meet in Yankton this afternoon also. And they've got a state qualifier in Watertown next week. Also, another sporting note, it's Pink the Rink night tonight as the Hawaii Capitals are hosting the Mitchell Marlins at the Expo Center this evening for an 8 o'clock puck drop. And that'll be the varsity game coming up there. That'll do it for this one. A tough loss for the Governors, but still something to build on as they fall to the O'Gorman Knights 67-63. Our thanks to Chuck Hansen for running the show in studio both last night and today. He's not normally the one we call on to do such a thing, but he chips in wherever and whenever he needs to, and we appreciate those efforts. And for Brian Manning running the show on camera for Live Ticket, you'll be able to watch this one over at drgnews.com and the River 92.7 page. It was a good one, but your final Gales Gas Service scoreboard has the O'Gorman Knights coming out on top, 67-63. We'll speak with you again Tuesday from Yankton for more Governor basketball. Until then, I'm Brian Oakland for DRG Media Group Sports. This has been Governor Basketball on the official voice of the Governors, River 92.7 and drgnews.com. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, everybody.
You've been listening